A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Jerry, at Fair Oaks.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Gardner.
Well, Jerry, all ready to take the afternoon off?
Yes, ma'am. Oh, say, can I take that note someplace for you?
No, thank you. I'm going to put this up on the bulletin board. Oh, and it concerns you, Jerry.
Me?
I've just come from Captain Gardner's office. And on this notice is the outcome of the riding test for the polo team.
Can I see it, please?
May I, Jerry?
Oh, yeah. May I see it, please?
Yes, you may. But first, I want to tell you something, Jerry.
Yes?
Both the captain and Sergeant Alden deliberated a long time making a choice. It wasn't an easy task. Sergeant Alden praised the riding of all three of you boys. In fact, he expressed a desire to have all of you on the team. But, of course, you understand there's just the one position open.
Yes, ma'am, I know that.
The men finally had to resort to writing the three names on separate pieces of paper and drawing the winner. So, you see, it was very fair.
I didn't get it, did I?
No, you didn't. And I'm sorry. But you still have a chance.
Well, I don't see how if one of the other boys was picked.
Cully Newsom was the lucky one. And you and Paul Warren are next in line.
Oh, you mean the next time there's an open place on the team?
No, before that, Jerry. In fairness to you and Paul Warren, Sergeant Alden is going to break a precedent and give Cully just a couple of weeks' trial. Of course, if he makes good, he'll keep the position. But if there's a flaw in his work, you and Paul will be given a trial.
Now, I see what you mean.
You don't feel badly about it, do you, Jerry?
No, ma'am.
It says right here on this notice that you were all three judged equally in riding ability. So all the other cadets will know you didn't fall down on the test.
Well, better luck next time.
That's the way to talk. Now, you run along and take advantage of the afternoon. Have you made any plans?
No, ma'am. Lee and I are going to do something, but I don't know what.
Where is Lee?
He's waiting for me outside.
Well, don't keep him waiting too long.
Okay. Goodbye, Mrs. Gardner.
Goodbye, Jerry.
Oh, there you are, Jerry.
Oh, hi.
What kept you so long?
Well, Lee, I just had a talk with Mrs. Gardner.
Oh, I see.
And I found who won the riding test for the polo team.
You did? Who was it? You got it, didn't you?
No, I didn't. Cully Newsom was picked.
Oh, but you rode as good as he did, Jerry. Every bit as good.
I know it, and Mrs. Gardner explained the whole thing to me. Hey, where are we heading for?
Let's walk over to Mac's place and have a cold drink.
Okay.
But go ahead and tell me just what happened.
Well, Mrs. Gardner said that Sergeant Alden and Captain Gardner couldn't decide, so they wrote our names down on pieces of paper and had a drawing. Cully's going to get a couple of weeks' trial, and if he doesn't make good, then Warren and I will get our turn.
Oh, well, then you've still got a chance.
Uh-huh.
Oh, say, I heard something that might interest you.
Yeah? What?
Well, I overheard one of the fellas say that Captain Rowland is starting to line up the crews. Why don't you look him up and put in your application for coxswain of the plebe crew?
Well, I will if you will.
What?
Well, why not? You're not going out for any other athletics.
Well, I'm just waiting for basketball, Jerry. I thought I'd try for the plebe basketball team.
Well, you can row, can't you?
I have a little bit.
Well, you're good and strong. What do you say? We'll both try for the plebe crew. Are you on?
Okay, I will.
Okay, let's shake on it. Put her there.
Right. Dugan and Phillips of the plebe crew.
That way we can be together and help each other. We might even get famous as a team.
Well, there's nothing I'd like better. Let's make that our goal. You as coxswain and I as stroke.
But we won't tell anybody about it. It's just between the two of us, right?
Right.
Hey, look it. There's a birdcage hanging out in front of Mac's place.
Mm-hmm. That's his pet canary. He hangs them outdoors in the sun a couple of hours every day. Didn't you see him the last time we were here?
No, he wasn't in the store.
Maybe he had him out back in his living quarters. Here we are. Let's see if he'll sing for us. Come on, Duncan. How about a song?
Duncan? Is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
That sure is a funny name for a bird.
You better not let Mac hear you say that. He says it's a perfect name. It's an old Scotch name, Jerry. It means brown warrior.
Oh, well, that's not so bad then.
That's a fella. You see, Jerry, sometimes Mac lets him out of his cage. When he does, Duncan leaps around all over the store and pecks at everything he can find to peck at. He jumped on my shoulder once and pecked my ear.
Brown warrior fits him then, doesn't it?
I'll say it does. Well, come on, let's go on inside.
Okay.
Hiya, Mac.
I'll be right with you, lad.
No hurry, Mac. Take your time.
Hey, it sounds like Mac is building a house the way he's hammering.
Most likely fixing something.
What are you going to have, Lee?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe some ice cream?
Oh,
Come on, Jerry. Let's go back and see what happened.
Okay, I'm right with you.
What is it? What's the matter, Mac?
I've mashed my fingers, lads. I really give it a good one. Sir, an extra good one.
Gee, I'll say you did. Here, you better let the cold water run on it.
That's right, Mac. Hold it under the cold water.
Say, that hurts.
Well, how did you happen to hit your finger, Mac?
I guess I had it where the nail should have been, and the hammer didn't know the difference. There, that's enough now. I'll just dry it off and forget about it. Turn the tap off, Jerry.
Okay.
That's too bad, Mac. I'm sorry you hurt yourself.
No, it's nothing seriously. It's things like this that opens a person's eyes. There's an old saying goes like this: misfortune is a good teacher.
Huh?
Yes, sir. You learn through mistakes. I'll be a lot more careful the next time. Yes, sir, a lot more careful.
Say, look here. What is this thing, Mac? Looks like some kind of a machine. And look, Jerry, it's hooked up with electricity.
No, never mind. That's not for you to see. I didn't ever intend for you to come back here and have a look at it.
But what is it?
Yeah, tell us, Mac. We've seen it already.
No, it's a secret, lads. And yours are the first eyes that have seen it.
A secret?
I've been working on that for a long, long time.
Is it some sort of an invention, Mac?
That it is.
Won't you tell us about it? Please, Mac.
Well, on one condition, I'll tell you. You've got to promise me you won't tell one living person about it.
Oh, we won't, Mac. We promise, don't we, Jerry?
Sure we do.
Well, I know I can count on your words.
You bet you can.
Well, you're looking at a miniature model of what I hope will be the salvation of aviation.
I don't believe I get you, Mac.
That machine, as you call it, is the greatest need in aviation today.
Sounds interesting. But I didn't know you were an inventor or knew anything about aviation.
Oh, Lord, I've been kicking it for years on this and that, but I've got a real one here.
Well, what is the greatest need in aviation, Mac? What will your invention do?
It's a new kind of altimeter.
An altimeter?
Mm-hmm. You know what that is, don't you, Jerry? It's a sort of a gauge to tell how high an airplane is.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean.
Well, how does your invention differ from the altimeters they have now?
Well, that's the secret. All the altimeters they have now give you the height from sea level.
Mm-hmm, that's right.
In other words, if you take off from an airport that's 500 feet above sea level and you fly up 1,000 feet, your altimeter would read 1,500 feet, am I right?
Yeah, I guess it would be all right.
Well, of course it would. But actually, you're only 1,000 feet off the ground below.
Oh, I see what you mean. Your invention will tell the exact distance between the ground under the plane and the plane itself, and not the difference between sea level and the plane.
You're a smart lad, Lee. That's exactly right.
Yeah, but I don't see why that's so important. The aviator that's flying the plane makes allowances for the extra 500 feet, and, well, he can tell how high he is anyway.
Well, wait a minute, Jerry. I think I can explain that. Now, look, that's supposing the flyer doesn't know the territory he's flying in. In that case, he doesn't know how high the ground below him is above sea level.
Very good, Lee, very good. I couldn't explain it better myself. Of course, that's just an explanation. The real worth of my invention lies in the fact that we'll warn flyers of approaching objects.
Wow, that's perfect, Mac. You mean if a plane's heading straight for a mountain peak that it can't clear, well, your invention will warn the pilot?
Right, and at least that's what I hope it will do. But there's a lot more work to be done.
Tell us how it works, Mac.
Well, I guess you've heard or read of many airplanes running into the side of mountains and crashing, haven't you?
Oh, sure, lots of times. And I never could figure out how it could happen with all the latest flying equipment they're using nowadays.
Oh, it happens very easily. A plane can be flying right on a radio beam, thinking that beam is true, but it isn't. That's been proven. Because of electrical storms, those beams have been known to go off their course several miles. Now, let's suppose a pilot is flying 8,000 feet up and right on the beam. He knows there are no mountains higher than 6,000 feet on the course, so he feels very safe, huh?
I see. But actually, he may be several miles off his course.
Right, lad. And off the course, there are mountains 9 or 10,000 feet high to the left or right of the true course, huh?
So that's why sometimes you hear a plane flying right into the side of a mountain.
Yes, Jerry, that's the reason.
Well, now, tell us how your invention will prevent that happening.
Let me show you the machine here. Come over closer. Huh?
All right.
Now, you see this little tube here with the light over it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what's that?
That's the altimeter, Jerry.
Oh.
Now, here's how it works. The meter is lighted up the same as other instruments on the panel by a dash light.
And giving the true distance between the ground or the mountains below the plane.
Right. Now, if the plane is flying along, and all of a sudden a mountain shows up that the altitude of the plane can't clear, this light goes on and the buzzer rings at the same time, giving plenty of warning and plenty of time so the pilot can turn around or gain more altitude, eh?
Well, that's wonderful, Mac, isn't it, Jerry?
I'll say it is. Hey, but how does it work, Mac?
Oh, that's the secret, lads. Yes, sir. That's the secret.
You've told us everything else about it. Aren't you going to tell us the principle now?
Well, I'll tell you this much. It's worked by magnet.
Well, what do you know about that?
Yes, sir. A magnet so sensitive that it will work at a great distance.
I think that's about the greatest invention I ever heard about.
If you can really get it to work, Mac, you'll be rich. Well, you'll make plenty of money with an idea like that.
Oh, perhaps, Jerry, but that isn't why I want to give my idea to the world. I'm only thinking of the lives it will save. That would make me very happy. There's an old saying goes like this: wealth rarely brings happiness. That's a true one, lads.
Yeah, I guess that's right.
You bet it is.
When do you think you'll have your invention finished, Mac?
Well, sir, everything is worked out now so far as I can go. My next step is to build a working model that can be put into an aeroplane and tried out.
Well, you're going to start on it right away?
Oh, I wish I could, lads. Yes, sir, I wish I could.
Why can't you? You made a small model. Now all you got to do is to make a bigger one.
No, it's not that easy, Jerry. No, sir. Not quite that easy. It takes money, and lots of it. It would take at least a couple of $100, and I haven't that much. Losh, I haven't half that much I could spare. A light purse is a heavy curse.
Well, isn't there some way you could raise the money?
Well, only by mortgaging the store here, and I didn't care to do that.
Oh, no, I should say not.
Well, come on, lads, that's old Mac's problem, and whenever Mac has a problem, he finds a solution. Now, you didn't come here to work out my financial troubles. You come here for a drink, huh? Come on up to the fountain and let me get your orders, huh?
Okay.
And how's your finger now, Mac?
Oh, well, it hurts a little, but it's nothing serious. I'll be forgetting about it in a jiffy.
Well, I think I'll take some ice cream, Mac.
Ice cream for you, Lee. And Jerry?
Well, fix me up one of your special chocolate sodas, Mac.
Chocolate soda, right?
Uh-huh.
Say, Mac, have you talked with anyone about your invention?
No, you're the first ones to hear about it.
Well, look, did you ever think of talking it over at the bank? I mean, sometimes you can sell an interest in an invention and get the money you need to develop it that way.
Well, I've thought of that, but I've got to get the patent first, huh? You've got to protect it before you talk about it.
Hey, I've got an idea, Lee.
Yes? What is it?
I think I know where we can get the $200 Mac needs. I'm almost sure, and I'm going to do something about it right away.
Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is chair. C-H-A-I-R.
Really? You bet your life. The more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers of America present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here he is, the one, the only... Groucho!
That's me, Groucho Marx. Well, here I am again with $1,000 for one of our couples. Fenneman, who's first to try for it?
Well, we invited some lawyers and some secretaries who work for psychiatrists to the program tonight, Groucho. And just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Miss Jackie Mandel and lawyer John Jacobs, Jr., and here they are, folks. Meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. And if you say the secret word, you'll divide $100. It's a common word, something you'll find around the house. Miss Fenneman?
Mandel.
You can pick up your check at the front office. Jackie Mandel, eh? You're a secretary to a psychiatrist?
Yes, I am.
What's his name?
He may be listening.
Well, I'm listening. Why don't you tell me?
Yeah, but you can't fire me.
I could have had matches. Where are you from,
You get all burned up.
What? This is going to be a duel of no wits. Where are you from, Miss Mandel?
Chicago.
Chicago, huh? And Mr. Jacobs, you're a lawyer?
I am, sir.
Are you married?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any children?
I have 2 stepchildren.
And how many children do you have, Miss Mandel?
I'm not married.
Well, don't come running to me with your problem. Well, let's talk about psychiatry, Miss Mandel. Huh? In the first place, how do you spell it?
P-S-Y-C-H-I-A-T-R-Y.
That's pretty good. I always thought that was chrysanthemum. How does a psychiatrist work on a patient? For example, does he have them lie down and tell their life story? What does he do?
Well, it's optional. Some want to sit up and some like to lie down. And
is it any cheaper lying down?
No, it seems about the same.
By the way, did you hear about the 2 psychiatrists who met on the street and one of them said hello? And the other one said, I wonder what he meant by that. Mr. Jacobs, what kind of a lawyer are you?
Well, I hope I'm a good lawyer.
Do you know the penalty for perjury? Suppose in a criminal case your client is obviously guilty. What do you do, Mr. Jacobs?
Well, if he's obviously guilty, I will defend him to the best of my ability in a legal manner.
Showing up? Some lawyer that's strapping the buckle on the electric chair and he's tickled pink because he got an illegal conviction. Now, do you take any case that comes along or just a guilty one?
I take any case that I think that I may be able to help anyone, but I have the right to turn down if I desire.
Let's say I've been arrested for stealing. Would you take my case?
What kind of a case?
Well, I didn't steal anything.
Stealing what?
Well, I happened to be walking down an alley and 4 chickens flew into my gunny sack. Now, how are you going to keep me out of jail?
Well, I have various means to sort of prolong the thing. I could probably...
You mean the sentence?
Get a habeas corpus, and probably get you out on bond, and then writ of mandamus possibly might work, or writ of prohibition.
I see. Well, there's a fine legal point involved here. While these chickens were in my possession, 2 of them laid eggs. Now, who do the eggs belong to? Me, the chickens, or the guy who was shooting at me?
That sounds worse than a law school question or a bar examination. I would say that in that case, possession is just about 9/10 of the law.
You think so? All right. Now, by some miscarriage of justice, I wind up in your court and you're going to spring me. Now, what do you do?
Well, it sounds to me like that I probably should have pled you insane at the beginning.
Well, Mr. Jacobs, you were a passable witness, and if I ever need a lawyer, I'll see a good psychiatrist. Now, in just a minute, you're going to play You Bet Your Life for a chance at $1,000. First, here's something of importance.
It's not too late to wish a Happy New Year to all you car owners, and to add a word of advice. For a year of trouble-free motoring, have your car checked regularly, and by a DeSoto Plymouth dealer. If you're not one of the thousands who already know how expert DeSoto Plymouth service is, resolve to find out this week. And while you're there, make sure to ask your DeSoto Plymouth dealer about the two great cars he handles. The DeSoto is truly a magnificent car. It's a big car, yet it has sleek, graceful lines. A solidly built car that handles with complete ease. From its featherlight steering to its responsive brakes, from its waterproof ignition to its chair-high seats, DeSoto is a car built for extra convenience, extra comfort. And, of course, it's a DeSoto that lets you drive without shifting. And as for value, you'll be amazed how far your dollars go today when you buy a brand new DeSoto. Remember, too, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth, the American beauty. So drive in where you see those two great names linked together. DeSoto, Plymouth.
Now, let's see if you two will get a chance at the $1,000. Fenneman, explain the rules.
All right. Each of our three couples has $20. They bet as much of that 20 as they want on each of four questions. And the couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the $1,000 DeSoto Plymouth question at the end of the show.
All right, here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected famous athletes. Here's your first question. How much of the 20 will you bet?
Yeah, 10.
10? Okay. In what sport is Sammy Baugh famous? B-A-U-G-H.
Football.
Football is right. Well, they're on their way, Groucho. They have $30. All right, you got $30. Remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. Now, how much of the 30 will you bet on your second question?
20.
All right. And what sport is Bobby? In what sport is Bobby Riggs famous?
Tennis.
Tennis is correct. Well, you people are on your way. You have $50. You got $50. Here's your third question. How much of the 50 will you bet?
25.
All right.
30.
30.
Huh? $30. In what sport is Ted Williams famous?
Baseball.
Baseball is right. You're on your way up now. You have $80. $80. Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the 80 are you going to go for?
$50.
$50. In what sport is Ben Hogan famous? Golf is correct. And you win $130 from the DeSoto Plymouth dealer.
Groucho, the secret word is still chair. We invited some rocket experts and some railroad engineers to the program tonight, and just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected engineer John Morrison and rocket expert Albert Dewell. And here they are. Folks, come on in and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, gentlemen, to You Bet Your Life.
Oh.
And if you say the secret word, you'll divide $100 in cash. It's a common word, something you will find around the house. Now, let's see. Mr. Dewell, you're a rocket expert?
That's right.
Oh, you're a rocket expert, huh? Where are you from, the moon?
No, I work at
Minneapolis?
The Naval Ordnance Test Station, China Lake.
China Lake. And Mr. Morrison, you're the engineer, I presume,
Yes, sir.
Where are you from?
Well, I was raised in Colorado, Groucho, born in California.
What'd you do, have one leg in each state? Who do you work for?
The Atchison, Pekin, Santa Fe Railway.
Oh, well, you know that song about the... Could you sing it?
No, I'm no singer.
You don't have to be a singer for that song. You just have to be a railroad, that's all. Huh? Are you married?
Yes, sir.
Did your wife ever give you a roundhouse when you have an argument? Do you run any special train or just a string of boxcars?
Well, I have run almost all the trains they have. At the present time, I'm on one of the San Diego streamline trains between here and San Diego.
When you go on a vacation, how do you travel?
Oh, just one way. Rails, of course.
You take the rail.
You betcha.
I don't mind traveling by rail. It's the tar and feathers that bother me. And now, Space Patrol, tell us about your rockets. For example, how big are they?
Well, they run between 1 foot and 30 feet.
As much as that, huh? Well, what kind of a noise does it make when it goes off?
Oh, it several different kinds of noise. They go whisk or a zoom, something like that.
Are you trying to scam me? Zoom you, too. Huh? You can play at that game, you know. Do you think we'll ever be going to the moon in one of your rockets?
I think so. I think in about 30 years you will.
What would a trip to the moon be like? What, for example, would I need to pack in my overnight bag? Well, I'm thinking...
Well, to start off, when the rocket takes off, they'd probably strap you right to your chair and...
You said the secret word chair, and you and the engineer over here split $100 between you, huh? No. I expect to be strapped to my chair, but not on the moon, huh?
Well, when the rocket takes off, you'd be strapped to the chair, and on the way up, you'd probably pass meteorites and flying stars, and when you get there, you'd probably have to take your own food and water. And
what kind of food?
Food that you eat today.
How do you know what I ate today?
And
suppose I didn't eat today. What kind of food would I take to the moon?
What you ate yesterday, I guess. Well, you take regular...
What about tomorrow's food? Would you be interested in that, huh? I'm going to have lamb stew tomorrow night for dinner. How would that be on the moon?
I imagine it would be pretty good if you take it up.
Okay, well, I'm all set now.
You'd probably have to have weights in your pocket, because if you didn't, you'd take a step, you'd probably go up 30 or 40 feet. That's
I'm in great shape. You're walking around the moon with lead on my pants and a lamb stew, huh? That's the most curious equipment for a solar trip I ever heard of.
Well, that's theoretically speaking.
Oh, this is just all theoretical
that's
stuff,
right.
huh? Maybe I won't even need the lamb stew, huh?
Could be.
I couldn't take the Santa Fe from San Diego, huh? Okay, I'll go. But I'm only buying a one-way ticket. I'm not going to throw my money away, huh? How fast do your rockets go?
Oh, they go as fast as 2,000 miles an hour.
Really? They go that fast?
Yes, sir, they do.
Wouldn't do the lamb stew much good, I guess. Now, Streamliner, how would you like to drive a train that made it to Chicago in an hour?
Well, under the conditions we got here, it'd be quite a thrill.
2,000 miles an hour. You'd lean out of the cab to kiss your wife goodbye in Los Angeles and wind up kissing a red cap in Kansas City. Well, we've come a long way from Noah's Ark to rockets, and I never thought I'd live to see both of them. All right, now you're going to play You Bet Your Life. You beat our other two couples, and you'll get a chance at the $1,000 DeSoto Plymouth question. I can't tell you how much our first couple won, but Fenneman's off stage to remind our listeners.
The lawyer and the secretary won $130.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected Islands of the World. Is that right?
That's right.
Now, here's your first question. How much of the 20 are you going to risk?
15.
What is the name of the island off the toe of Italy?
Sicily.
Sicily is correct.
Well, you fellas are starting. You're on your way. You had $35.
All right, remember you're going for $1,000 tonight. Now, how much is the 35 you're going to bet?
31.
31. Do you approve of that, Johnny?
Oh, you betcha. You betcha.
Johnny is an amiable cuss, isn't he? I bet he'd let you ride free on his railroad.
If I could.
Try it sometime. You'll get kicked off at Glendale, huh? All right, what's the name of the island prison located in San Francisco Bay?
Alcatraz.
Alcatraz is right, huh?
Now you have $66.
Johnny Morrison, how did you know that so quickly?
I've been by there lots of times.
Is that your alma mater? All right, here's your third question. How much of the 60 are you going to bet?
66.
66?
Yes.
Oh, $60.
$60. What is the largest island in the world? You can talk it over, you know. And if you're not sure, take a guess.
Cuba? Madagascar. No.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Greenland.
Greenland.
You now have $6.
Let's go for the 6.
You've just got enough left for the lamb stew to the moon. All right, here's your last chance to beat the other couples. You're going to bet the $6. What is the name of the string of islands extending from Alaska?
Aleutian.
The Aleutian Islands is right.
And you wind up with $12 from the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America.
What are they, Gentlemen, proceed.
All right, Groucho, the secret word is still chair. Just before we went on the air, we selected a young mother who has some young children to be on the program, Mrs. Grace Hunter. Her partner is a nursery school teacher, Mrs. Grace King. Ladies, meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, girls, to You Bet Your Life. And if you say the secret word, you'll divide $100. It's a common word, something you'll find around the house. Let's see. A mother, some small children, and a nursery school teacher. Mrs. King, you're from a nursery school.
Yes,
huh?
I am.
Do you teach the flowers about the bees? No?
Exactly.
Which nursery school? Huh?
It's a Hellendale Nursery Kindergarten in Pacific Palisades.
What's your language? What did you say was the name of that?
Hill and Dale.
Oh, Hill and Dale. Are you married?
Yes, I'm married.
You are married, huh? Oh, that's nice. What does your husband do?
He is a field representative with the Social Security Administration.
He's with the Social Security? You mean he's over 65? How did you meet Mr. Hunter?
I'm Mrs.
Oh,
King.
you're Mrs. King, huh? Mr. Hunter isn't good enough for you, huh? You look very pretty, Mrs. King. You don't mind if I call you Mrs. Hunter occasionally, huh? And you're Mrs. Hunter, is that right? Huh?
That's right.
Now, Mrs. Hunter, how did you meet your husband, Mr. King?
He was going steady with the redhead next door. And,
Your husband was going steady with a redhead next door?
Yes.
So?
And I used to go to dancing school, and then I'd come home and teach my 4 brothers and my sister how to dance, and he used to come over to learn, too, because he didn't know how to dance.
And what happened to the redhead?
Well, I moved away from that neighborhood. I moved 2 blocks over, and I don't know what happened to her, because he started coming over to my house.
Well, did he ever tell you about the redhead?
He didn't have to. I lived next door.
How long have you been married, Mrs. King?
Mrs. Hunter has been married 13 years.
You've been married 13 years, and how many children do you have?
I have 6.
You have 6 children, huh?
Yes.
That redhead just got out in time. How many of these kids are boys, Mrs. Hunter?
There's 3 boys.
You have 3 boys? Let's see,
Yes.
3. 6. Well, you must have 3 girls, huh?
That's right.
I don't want you to think I wasted my early years shooting pool. Well, let's change the subject, and if I know the subject, it probably needs changing. How many children do you have in your nursery, Mrs. King?
27.
And how old are your children?
From 2 to 5.
They run from 2 to 5?
Run from 2 to 5.
They must be pretty tired by 5 o'clock, huh? What are the names of your youngsters, Mrs. Hunter?
Oh, I thought you were going to ask all 27 names of the nursery school.
Okay, what are the names of your youngsters? What are their ages? Mrs. Hunter, what are their ages?
My children's ages?
Your age.
Oh, they run from 3 to 12.
You mean that your kids can run longer than her kids? Why is that? Do they get lamb stew at your house? Do you think your children would be interested in a trip to the moon?
Well, when it starts.
What are their ages, Mrs. Hunter?
They run from...
Specifically, huh?
Oh, well, I have one that was just 12, and I have one that will be 12 in 3 months, and I have one that's 9.
You have one that's 12 in 3 months?
I have one that just was 12, and in 3 months I'll have another one that will be 12.
That one isn't even born yet, huh?
And I have one that's 9, one that's 6, and 2 that are 3.
I see. And how old would you say the redhead is now? Now, Mrs. King, tell us about your nursery. What is the purpose of such a school?
Well, we provide an enriched environment for the preschool child before he's ready for the formal education.
No, I mean, that's what you tell the mother when you try to hook them for that $50 a month. I mean, what actually is the purpose of the school? See, I have a 4-year-old, too, you know.
Well, we help the children to live together.
You want to hear a story about my child?
Love to.
I had her up in Beverly the other day, and she's 4 years old, and she's about that high, and she had these 2 big guns on. She could barely walk. She was going like this, and these 2 big revolvers were barreling down like this. And finally she turned to me, she says, Daddy, carry me. I says, carry you? Well, you're supposed to be a big cowboy. Hop along. Suppose somebody comes along and sees you in my arms. She says, well, if anybody says anything, I'll tell them you're a horse.
Groucho,
What's that?
everybody off stage, and I'm sure some people out here in the audience, have been wondering how these 2 children of Mrs. Hunter's can be so close to 12. I mean, one is 12, and then another one is going to be 12 in 3 months. How is this done?
Okay, Mrs. Hunter.
One of the boys...
How come that one of your children is 12 and one is 12 in 3 months?
Well, I had 5 children, and the one boy that's the oldest was lonesome because the rest were girls and then the twin babies. So we adopted a boy to go with him, keep him company.
Well, thank you. I'm sure that answers
Fenneman, try not to come back again, huh? How do your kids amuse themselves on a rainy day, Mrs. Hunter?
Oh, they go out in the garage and fight.
Go out in the garage and fight? Your Band-Aid bill must be pretty big around that house, isn't it? Now, how do your kids amuse themselves on a rainy day?
Well, we have them indoors, and they sit on chairs and work at their tables.
Chairs, and you and Mrs. Hunter are going to split $100 between you, huh? $50 apiece there. Now, what are some of the games you play with your children, Mrs. Hunter?
Oh, I play hide and seek and red light, green light.
Red light, green light? How do you play that?
Well, you all get in a line and you tell them they can go, and then they have to stop real quick on the line. Didn't you ever play it? We play London Bridge is Falling Down.
Well, let's play one of your games. Are you willing?
Why, sure. What would you like to play?
Would you be interested in the snappy game of post office? How about London Bridge? I haven't played that for over a year.
First idea was make the bridge. Like this. Well, Mom was going.
Do I go in here?
Falling down.
Well, what do I do?
Falling down.
Is there an arthritic doctor in the house? Well, you make a wonderful team. Feminine but wonderful, huh? The next time I want to play games, I'll stick to spin the bottle. All right, now we're ready. Now let's see how well you make out in the battle for the $1,000. You've got to run your $20 into more than our other couples. I can't tell you how much the other couples won, but Fenneman's going to remind our listeners.
The lawyer and the secretary are still ahead with $130.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected fictional children. Here's your first question. Now, how much are you going to bet?
10.
10? All right. What was the name of the little girl who trespassed on the 3 bears?
Goldilocks.
Goldilocks is right.
And on your way, you have $30.
You got $30. Remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. How much is 30 you're going to go for?
20.
$20. What was the name of the little boy who discovered a magic lamp?
Aladdin.
Aladdin is right. $50. Here's your third question. How much is the 50 you're going to go for?
35.
What was the name of the little girl who went through the looking glass?
Alice.
Alice is right.
And your prize is $85.
$85. Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the 85 you're going to go for? Oh, I sound like an auctioneer.
65.
65.
65. What was the name of the little boy who was a pal of Tom Sawyer's?
Huckleberry Finn.
Huckleberry Finn.
And
And they wind up with a grand total of $150. And that means that they, with their $150, get the chance at the DeSoto Plymouth $1,000 question. Earlier, I mentioned the wisdom of having your car checked regularly at a DeSoto Plymouth dealer's. The benefits to you and your family in time saved, in reducing inconvenience, yes, and in money saved by a regular DeSoto Plymouth dealer checkup are things you can't afford to be without. Take lubrication as just one case in point. DeSoto Plymouth dealers keep accurate files on when your car needs a lubrication job. And when they do lubrication work, they do it right type of lubricants, in the right amounts, when and where your car needs it. Proper lubricating is just one of the many important jobs DeSoto Plymouth Service is equipped to do right. Take advantage of the better service that's available to you wherever you see the sign of a DeSoto Plymouth dealer.
All right, here we go for $1,000. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you, so think carefully, and please no help from the audience. Here it is. The political pot already is seething for the presidential elections in '52. For $1,000, who was the candidate of the Dixiecrats in the 1948 election? What's the answer to have decided upon?
What was the name of the vice president that was with Roosevelt?
No, I'm sorry. The name is J. Strom Thurmond. Thurmond.
No.
That was a tough one. I'm sorry. That's the correct answer. How much did they win, Fenneman?
Well, they wound up with $150.
Well, that's not so bad.
And you said the secret word, didn't you?
Yes, so they had how much? $280?
$250.
Well, a veritable fortune, $250. So that means the big question next week. That means the big question next week will be worth $1,500. Well, you lost the big money, but you won $250. Congratulations and thanks to both of you. And to all of our contestants on the show tonight.
Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at this time for the Groucho Marx Show, when the big question will be worth $1,500. And don't miss Groucho's television show, also presented by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth. Two great cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation.
And when you drive in, tell them Groucho sent you. Good night, folks, and remember, just be sure to see your DeSoto Plymouth dealer.
Folks, here's a reminder from the National Safety Council. Remember the ABCs of safety. Always be careful. You Bet Your Life, transcribed from Hollywood, is produced by John Goodell, directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith. Music by Jerry Fielding. This is George Fenneman signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast.
Goodwin, inviting all you servicemen and women to enjoy another pleasant visit with George Burns and Gracie Allen, our tenor Jimmy Cash, and Felix Mills and his orchestra. And now meet the people who live in the Burns house, George and Gracie.
Oh, Mrs. Regan, yeah? just remembered something. I'm completely broke. Could you...
I'd be glad to lend you some, Acushla, but I'm in the same fix myself. I sent the last penny I had to my brother, so he could get himself some glasses.
Oh, how sweet.
Yes. The poor fellow got tired of drinking out of bottles.
Well, if we don't get some money, neither one of us will get the hat.
Oh, if only Mr. Byrne weren't so tight, sisters.
Oh, Mrs. Regan, George is a big spender. When we were in vaudeville together, we used to pool our salaries. And many's the week he spent so much money on me that we got clear down to his salary.
Then why not ask him for money to buy the hat?
I did. But he wouldn't give it to me because I've already overspent my budget.
Oh, why don't you try a bit of blind?
You mean flatter the little rascal?
Sure. Flattery will work on any red-blooded man. It might even work on your husband.
Oh, Mrs. Regan, that's a wonderful idea. I'll get the money.
Here he comes down the stairs.
Good morning, Mrs. Regan. Good morning, Gracie.
George, don't move.
Huh?
Stand there and let me look at you. Oh, you're so incredibly handsome.
I am?
Oh, if only I were a sculptor. Let the others make statues of Apollo and Mercury and Hercules. You're the man I want to chisel.
Oh, Gracie, I didn't...
How do they ever pack so much man into one body? When I stop and realize that you're mine, all mine, it just frightens me.
Oh, honey.
How does great, big, gorgeous, attractive you ever come to marry itty-bitty, gorgeous, attractive me?
Look, Gracie.
Oh, come on, Hot Lips. Tell me you love me.
I love you.
Oh, no. Now, put some feeling into it.
I love you.
Do you really, darling?
Yes.
That's good. George.
No, you can't have the hat.
But, George.
Flattery will get you no place.
Flattery, I was telling the truth. Wasn't I, Mrs. Regan?
That she was, Mr. Burns. You're a man with the shimmering beauty of Killarney in your face, and the twinkle of the stars over the Emerald Isle in your eyes. And your voice, your voice is like the sound of the wind blowing through the shamrocks. And, no, I can't do it, Gracie. I can't do it. It would finish me in Ireland.
I thought so. So it was flattery, and Mrs. Regan was in on it.
But, George...
Look, honey, you don't have to flatter me to get things.
I don't?
Of course not. When you want something, just come right out and ask me. That's the way to get it.
All right. George, can I have a new hat?
No.
I like the other way better. I felt I was getting someplace. No hat. Huh?
No hat, no.
George, why don't you want to buy me a new hat?
Because you always get such ridiculous, outlandish hats.
I do not.
You do, too. What would you say if I came home with a derby that had a flagpole sticking through the crown and 2 toy jeeps racing around the brim?
George, that sounds darling. Where did you see it?
Oh, stop.
Jimmy Cash, our young tenor, sings for you the romantic ballad, The Day After Forever. Jimmy?
All day tomorrow, I'll be whispering your name, and the day after forever, I know I'll do the same. May time or winter, I won't let you out of sight, and the day after forever, we'll talk about tonight. heartstrings. It's my favorite song. All through a lifetime, I'll be loving you, and then on the day after forever, I'll just begin.
I've been thinking about what I did, and I want to apologize.
What did you do?
Oh, I deliberately flattered you to try to get a new hat. I feel stupid ashamed of myself.
Oh, don't feel so.
Oh, it was a low, mean, vulgar thing to do.
Oh, honey.
I hate myself for such sneaking, underhanded, vile trickery.
I didn't mind. I'll tell you something. It's almost worked. One more compliment, and I'd have given in.
You're incredibly handsome,
All
George.
right. That's no way to get things.
Ah, you're right, George. Flattery never works. Now, let's say, for an example, that I wanted to ask you to let me use the car this morning.
Don't waste your breath. The last time you had the car, you got a ticket for parking in front of a fire plug.
Parking? That policeman ought to be ashamed. All I did was stop for a wave, and he gave me a ticket.
That does seem unfair. Where did you stop for the wave?
At my regular beauty shop.
Forget about the car.
Well, I'm not asking for it, but if I were asking for it, I'd forget flattery and just appeal to your intelligence.
Right.
Because you're too clever for flattery.
Certainly.
The way to appeal to a busy, brainy man like you is to just ask for the car honestly, and you'll say, well, sure, Gracie, take it.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you, John.
Now, wait a minute.
Now, you promised.
Look, honey, I don't mind you taking the car when it's necessary, but you're not a good driver. Harry Morton next door says you ruined his elm tree backing out of the driveway.
Oh, that's the man for you, exaggerating. I ran over one teensy tiny little branch clear at the top of the tree.
How could you run over a branch at the top of the tree?
The tree was lying across our driveway.
Well, didn't you see it?
Well, how could I? It wasn't lying there until I hit it.
Look, honey, I'm going to let you use the car this morning because I denied you the new hat. But try and... By the way, what do you want the car for?
Well, I want to buy some bananas and some cherries and avocados and some vegetables and maybe a pheasant.
Well, that sounds like essential marketing.
Sure, and I'll leave the money.
Okay, here you are. And now, honey, drive carefully. Keep your hands on the wheel, your foot on the brake, your mouth closed, your ears open, and your eyes on the road.
Is it all right if my nose just hangs there and rests?
Never mind being flipped. Just see that you have the car back here by noon without a scratch on it.
All right, dear. Well, I guess that's finished our shopping, Mrs. Regan. I parked the car right over here.
Oh, tell me, Gracie, darling, how did you ever manage to get the car and money, too?
Oh, I told George I wanted to buy bananas and cherries and avocados and vegetables and a pheasant.
But you didn't buy those things.
I bought everything but the pheasant. Couldn't find a hat with a pheasant on it.
Sure, I'd hate to be married to you, Kushler.
I don't think it would be much fun for me either, Mrs. Regan. Oh, well, here's our car. Oh, will George be surprised to see us home without a scratch on the car? Did you see that? That parked car ran right into it.
Gracie, darling, you backed into it, and you bent your back fender till it looks like a presto.
Hello, Mrs. Burns. Are you having trouble?
Oh, hello, Mr. Postman.
You girls seem to be on a bender. I made a little joke. Well, I guess you're not in the mood for levity.
Well, I'm afraid not, Mr. Postman. Do you think there's much damage done?
Well, your rear bumper is out of shape, if you'll pardon the expression.
Did I hurt the other car?
A little, but don't worry about it. I know the old biddy who owns it. She's a sourpuss.
Oh, but I should pay for any damage.
Oh, no, don't pay a penny to the old battle axe. Let her ask her husband for the money.
Well, all right. Who does the car belong to?
My wife. My Mrs. Burns.
Well, Gracie, I backed the car into the garage for you.
Oh, thank you, Bill. Anything to keep George from seeing that back fender.
Yeah, you really folded it up all right.
Well, this has taught me a lesson, Bill. I hereby solemnly swear that I will never lie or deceive my husband again as long as I live. Unless I'm positive it'll work.
Hey, here comes George up the walk now.
Uh-oh. And he's here for the car.
Well, calm down, Gracie. Maybe I can square this whole thing for you. I have a little idea.
Say, Gracie, who backed the car into the garage?
Why, I did, didn't I, Bill?
Sure. Really? I didn't know you were that good.
Oh, yes. I back into lots of things that you don't know about.
Well, I'm glad you're improving. I'm going to drive down to the office now. Goodbye, dear.
Oh, goodbye. Oh, Bill, what if he sees the thing?
Leave everything to me, Gracie. Wait a minute, George. Say, George, you mind dropping me at Hollywood and Vine? I got to pick up a cute little girl there at 3 o'clock.
Bill, I don't go to Hollywood and Vine. I go to Wilshire and La Brea.
Oh. Well, okay, I'll pick one up there at 3 o'clock.
Get in, Bill.
Hold it, George. Hold it.
What's the matter?
Well, you're running right into the side of the garage. Back up.
Huh?
Come on, back up, back up.
Okay.
More, George, more. Come on. Farther. Oh! You smashed the whole back end of the car.
What? I barely touched
Oh,
it.
come on. Let's get out and look at the damage. Oh, murder, George. Look what you've done.
Gee, I can't believe it. Fender is folded up like an accordion. Gracie will never let me live this down.
You're not kidding.
Bill, is there maybe some way that you could make Gracie believe that she did this?
What? You want me to stoop to deceit and trickery? Well, You want me to make someone who didn't do this believe they did? Well, I'm surprised at you, George.
Oh, forget it.
Shame on you. I won't do it.
All right.
You dirty person.
All right, I am.
Thing to ask you to do.
I'm in an awful spot. After me lecturing Gracie about her driving, she finds out I smashed this fender. I'm a dead duck.
Well, take it easy, George. I'm the only one who knows. I'm the only one who could tell her.
And you wouldn't tell her, would you, Bill? Would you, Bill? Bill, look at me. Bill, old pal.
George, and I've been thinking maybe we should make a few changes in your radio program.
Look, Bill, I'm not going to let you or anybody else take over my program. I've worked hard to get where I am. I struggled, I starved, but I finally made it. I achieved success.
You married Gracie?
Yes, I do. No.
Well, now, what if I tell her about the fender, huh?
Well, I'm going to tell her myself. If she loves me, she'll forgive me. I'm going right in now and confess everything.
Mrs. Burns, I've been watching the garage through the kitchen window. Your husband didn't leave. He's heading for the house right now.
Uh-oh, maybe he saw the fender I smashed. Oh, I'm in for it if he did.
Now remember, Mrs. Burns, you're a lady and you're Irish. So don't degrade yourself by arguing. Just bash him with a bottle. Call me if you need me.
The best thing for me to do is just confess everything. If he loves me, he'll forgive me.
Gracie, I'd like to...
George, before you say anything, don't you think that when married people do something that other married people don't like, married people should forgive married people, especially if they're married? We are married, aren't we, George?
Well, yes, but I'm glad you feel that way, Gracie, because I've got a little confession to make.
Well, so have I, but you go first.
Oh, no. Ladies first.
Oh, no, that doesn't count. You go first in this house because you're the boss.
I am?
Well, you are when it fits in with what I'm saying.
Well, I'll make my confession, then you make your confession. I smashed the fender on the car.
Well, now for mine. You what?
I backed up and smashed the fender.
Oh, you did, huh?
Yeah, and now I feel better because I've confessed and you'll forgive me. Huh? I don't like the sound of that.
I do. Forgive you indeed. Imagine refusing to let me drive the car and then going out on a wild joyride.
But I only...
Tearing through traffic at 80 miles an hour.
But all
knocking down widows and orphans.
Okay. You've got me over a barrel.
I've got you over a hat box.
Hat box?
That's right. Remember the hat you said I couldn't get?
Yeah.
Well, I'm keeping it.
Oh, so you already had it. Now see here.
Dashing through red lights, bumping into Greyhound buses.
Okay, keep the hat.
Sure, and I'll get a dress to match it.
Okay.
And gloves to match the dress.
Aren't you carrying this a little?
Waving at blondes. Throwing empty bottles in the street.
Get the gloves.
Sure. And a bag to match them. Smashing the car so badly that even months wouldn't buy it.
I didn't say anything.
Well, I just threw that in for the shoes I'm getting to match the bag.
Oh.
Well, answer the door, Barney Oldfield.
Yes, dear.
Well, hurry up, Los Angeles driver.
Yes, dear.
Good afternoon, Mr. Burns. Here's your mail.
Thanks, Mr. Postman.
My goodness, you sound low. Having trouble with your wife?
Yes.
Oh, me too. Women are beasts, aren't they? But we men are so gullible. Along comes a pretty face and we're hooked.
Yep.
Come to think of it, I haven't even got that excuse. Oh, well, I guess you're happy that your wife wasn't hurt in the accident this morning.
The what?
Oh, it wasn't serious. She just backed into my wife's car and crumpled your fender.
Gracie crumpled the fender?
Yes. I always say that it takes a woman to be a woman driver.
You're so right. Well, goodbye, Mr. Postman.
Goodbye, Mr. Burns. Remember, keep smiling.
Well, who was it, Speedy?
The postman.
Oh. Well, as I was saying, I think I'll get a fur coat, too. Maybe red fox. Did you say the postman?
That's right.
Oh. He just delivered the mail, huh? Guess he didn't.
A fine thing. So you and Bill try to put one over on me.
Yes, dear.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Yes, dear.
You take me for a complete idiot?
Yes, dear.
And that hat goes back to the store.
It goes back?
Yes.
All right, dear. If you say so.
Oh, now, honey, don't cry. I can't stand to see you cry. You'll dry your tears. You can keep the hat.
You really?
Sure, honey.
Now, why didn't I think of this method in the first place?
I've been had.
This is the Armed Forces Radio Service.
Andy, you know what day this is?
Certainly, Amos. It's Tuesday.
That's right, and Tuesday means we got to go to work for Rinso.
Yes, sir, Rinso, the soap that gets clothes Rinso White and Rinso Bright, brings you the Amos and Andy Show with...
I'm Gabby Gibson. Yes, I'm Gabby Gibson.
This is Shorty, Shorty the barber.
Hattie McDaniel as Sadie Simpson.
Bud Gluskin and his orchestra. And those famous Delta Rhythm Boys. Now, the makers of Rinso invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the story of Amos and Andy. It's a well-known fact that husbands take their wives for granted and are accustomed to seeing them in a daily routine of housework. Tonight, however, the kingfish came home and found no wife, no supper. He's been pacing the floor, imagining everything, and his thoughts have now turned from anger to suspicion.
7 o'clock at night. She ain't never been out this late. I wonder if she's getting tired of me and could be out with another... Uh-oh, there she comes. I'll give her the 3rd degree.
Oh, hello, George. Guess I'm a little bit late.
Yes, I would say so. It's 7 o'clock. Playgirl. You ain't never been out that late since we've been married.
I've been shopping.
Shopping, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I notice your lip rouge is a little faint tonight. Kind of smeared up there.
Why, George, what you mean?
Is you been close to another man? Come here a minute. Let me smell some. Sweet.
Oh, you smell my perfume.
Smells like shaving lotion to me.
Now, George, just because I wasn't home one night in the kitchen cooking when you come home, you get suspicious.
Me suspicious? Ha, ha, ha. What's his name?
George, darling, you know better.
Now, wait a minute. Now, let me tell you something. I'll find out who rubbed that shaving lotion on you if I got to go around and smell every man in town.
George, it's just a new perfume I got. Now, listen, darling, remember our agreement. We must always trust each other, no matter what happens. Remember, marriage is built on faith and trust. I give you my word of honor, I was out shopping at a second-hand clothing store.
Well, I don't see why you had to go there. You got enough second-hand clothes.
George, you got to buy me some clothes like other husbands do.
Like who, for instance?
Well, look at Miss Van Poter. She's got a genuine fox fur.
Genuine fur. I throw shoes at better fur than that on the back fence. She ain't got nothing.
Other men's wives ain't got to beg like I do. They got charge accounts.
What do you mean by that?
Well, when Miss Van Poter wants to buy something, she just goes in the store and says, charge it to Miss Van Poter. I'd like to do the same thing.
Well, it's all right with me if it's all right with Miss Van Poter.
George, you simply got to get me some clothes.
See who is at the door there, will you?
Hello, Sapphire. Hello, Sadie. Come on in. Now, look, George, I want what I deserve.
Well, you ain't gonna get it.
Oh, yes, I am.
No, you ain't.
Huh. You two sound like Burns and Molotov.
We're having another argument, all right enough.
And Sadie, you stay out of this. We don't need no help.
All I'm going to do is to listen to both sides and see which one is right, and then pitch in and help Sapphire.
It's the same old thing, Sadie. I want to get a little more out of life than I'm getting. Some clothes, shoes, a new hat. Some of the little things that makes life worthwhile.
Now you're getting smart, Sapphire. You know, life is just like the tunnel of love. While you're going through, you got to grab what you can get.
Well, you just let me and Sapphire fight our own fights. We enjoy it that way.
You listen to me, George Stevens. If you don't give me some money, I'm going to do something that'll make you sorry.
Well, go ahead and do it.
All right, I will do it. I'll do it tonight, and you'll be sorry.
Well, see if I is sorry. I is leaving. Goodbye.
What you going to do, Sapphire?
I'm going to get a job and go to work.
I don't blame you. Serve him right.
By the way, did you get the money from the charity bazaar at the meeting this afternoon?
Got it right here in my pocketbook. $300. You is the treasurer, so here's the $300.
Well, I'll put it in the bank tomorrow afternoon. In the meantime, I'll hide it somewhere around here.
Where you going to put it?
Well, let me see. I'll put it between the sheets in the linen closet.
You said something about getting a job. Where are you going to get a job tonight?
Oh, over at the newspaper office. See, I know one of the editors over there, and he works at night. I'm going over and see him right now.
I don't blame you. Say, what started all this trouble anyway, Sapphire?
Oh, he practically said that some man smeared off my lip rouge.
I didn't know of a nicer way of getting it off.
You is really down in the dumps this morning, ain't you, Kingfish?
Oh, it's my wife again. She got some silly notion in her head about wanting the necessities of life. She talking about shoes and stockings and handkerchiefs and all that stuff.
Yeah, wants to show off, huh?
Yeah. I wish I could invent some way to make some quick money, you know that?
Yeah, or invent something that would pay off.
Yeah, that inventing is a good game, all right. There's an old saying in the invention line, you invent something worthwhile and the mice will be the better path to your door.
Yeah, well, what could we invent?
Well, what is the shortage of the need of houses? Now, there's one. Well, now, wait a minute. There's the prefabulated houses. Them is the ones that you buy, you know, and put together.
Oh, no. A friend of mine bought one of them. Didn't work out.
What happened?
Well, he ordered a prefabulated house. They drove up and dumped 6 loads of brick on his lot and say, there it is, put it together.
Well, inventions pay you money, though. Look at that man that invented the fountain pen that the deep-sea divers use, you know.
Yeah, say, you know, that pen advertisement give me an idea, and I done been toying with a fountain pen that's got enough ink in it to write for 10 years without refilling.
Say, that don't sound bad, 10 years.
Yeah, I even made a drawing of the thing. According to my figuring, the pen would stand about 4 feet high. Have to write with both hands.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, and I don't like to say no right off the bat, but the thing don't seem too handy. How can a man carry a pen that's 4 feet long?
In a golf bag.
I never thought of that, yeah. Wait a minute, though. Think of something else.
Yeah.
Wait. Come in, Amos.
Yeah, how is you, Amos?
Well, hiya, fellas. Well, we had a little excitement around our way last night.
What's that?
Well, when I was going home around 9 o'clock, I see some police up the street in front of a new store that just opened, a woman's dress shop.
Yeah, they ought to close them things down.
No, there was a robbery there. Some woman went in the cash register and took around $300 and beat it.
And they didn't get her, huh?
No, they didn't. I wonder why a woman do a thing like that.
Well, women needs money to buy clothes with, I guess. They all want clothes. $300, huh?
Yeah, that's a lot of money. Well, boys, I got to go. I got a call with the cab, so I...
Well, drop me and Andy off at my house, will you, Amos? We'll look in the icebox in and get a bite of lunch.
Well, ain't nothing in the kingfish, in the icebox there, Kingfish.
No, unless you want to try a little mustard on one of them ice cubes.
Now, look here. Even that light don't work when you open the door. And on top of that, there ain't even no ice cubes in there. Your wife done defrosted this icebox.
Well, that was done from the main office of the utility company on the 10th of the month.
Well, that is the longest defrost in history.
Hey, wait a minute. I tell you what, I look in the linen closet. My wife usually keeps some change in there between the sheets. I get a little change, and we go out and get a hamburger.
Yeah. Look between them sheets.
Yeah. She usually keep it right about, If this ain't Confederate money, we done struck oil.
Well, bring it out here in the light. Let me see it.
Hey, wait a minute, Andy. Is we in my house?
Holy mackerel, how much?
Look at here, 100. There's 200. $300.
Yeah, where'd that money come from, Kingfish?
Well, wait a minute. Yeah, wait a minute.
What your eyes popping out about?
And my wife.
What?
She's done it. She told me last night that she was going to do something and I'd be sorry for her. She left the house around 7:30 and she didn't get back till 10.
Well, what about it?
That store was robbed at 9 o'clock. And Amos said it was robbed of around $300.
Oh, yeah. Kingfish, what are you going to do?
Oh, me, what'll I do? I'm going to take this money so she can't spend it. Anna, do you realize what this means?
What?
Sapphire, my own wife, is guilty of petty lottery.
Oh, yeah, Kingfish, your wife has got you in trouble.
Why did I ever marry that woman? I ought to took the advice of my folks to give me years ago. You know, Andy.
My mama done told me when I was in knee pain. My mama done told me, said she, son, a woman will sweet talk and give you the big eye. But when the sweet talking's done, a woman's a two-faced.
You're so right.
A worrisome thing who'll leave you to sing the blues. The blues in the night.
Right.
Now the rains are falling here, the train are calling, ooh-wee. My mama done told. Hear that lonesome whistle blowing across the tracks of ooh-wee.
Yep, my mama done told me.
Ah-hoo-wee, da-hoo-wee. Oh, clickety-clacker, echoing back the blues. The blues in the night. The evening breeze will start the trees to crying, and the moon will hide its light. When you get the blues in the night, take my word, the mockingbird will sing the saddest kind of song. He knows things are wrong and he's right. You know he's always right. From Natchez to Mobile, from Memphis to St. Joe, wherever the four winds blow. I've been in some big towns and heard me some big talk, but there is one thing I know. A woman's a two-faced, a worrisome thing who'll leave you to sing the blues in the night. Got the blues on my left, the blues on my right, the blues in the day my mama was right. I've got those blues in the night.
Ladies, if hard water is your wash day problem, listen to this.
The water's hard as a rock in our town, but all the same, Rinso gives me heaps of hard-working suds. I've told nearly every woman in town about Rinso.
Yes, Rinso is especially good news in hard water communities, because Rinso's triple action formula includes a special suds booster that makes mountains of sturdy suds even in hard water. And Rinso's soapy-rich base makes suds that drive deep, get out stubborn dirt without hard rubbing or scrubbing. Even extra soiled work clothes are no trick with Rinso, because Rinso's grease chaser goes after grease and grime. So remember, Rinso's triple action suds for a wash that's
Rinso white, Rinso bright,
for a wash that's dazzling as it can be. Give this a Rinso 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I tell you, boys, I don't know what to do. My own wife, a common criminal, stealing $300.
Yes, Kingfish, it's not only a deplorable situation, but also quite a haul.
Yeah, certainly was a surprise to the Kingfish.
But when you phoned me and told me, I just couldn't believe it. Sapphire was at the house for supper just 2 nights ago.
I know she was. You know nobody would believe it.
Why, when I told my wife the news, she took a quick glance at our silverware. Kingfish, has you noticed a strange pickle fork around your house?
Henry, my wife wouldn't stoop to that.
No, she wants cash.
By the way, Henry, I don't want this to get out nowhere, so tell your wife not to breathe it to her soul.
All right, I'll phone her and tell her. She's only been over at the beauty shop for 2 or 3 minutes.
Too late now, yeah. I can't believe Sapphire doing a thing like this.
You know, this whole thing is going to finish her as far as her friends go.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Oh, I don't know. I'm sure that we would all still like to have her our get-togethers. However, I think the social set will insist on frisking her on her way out.
Well, I don't know what to do. I got the $300 that you took. I took it out from between the sheets in the linen closet, but it looked like to me it's my duty as a citizen to turn her over to the police. But she's my wife.
You know, she could get 2 years in Sing Sing for this.
Yeah.
I would talk to a lawyer and get the legal ice fix of this case.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Come on, Anna, let's go over to see Gabby Gibson. Well, here's Gabby's office.
Yeah, look at that sign he got on the door. By appointment only.
Well, let's take a chance.
Hello there, Gabby.
Now, look here, boy. Can you see the sign on the door? I was jammed up. I'm really jammed up. You got to make an appointment. You got to wait your turn. Yes, indeed. You got to wait your turn.
Well, when can I get your first opening that you ain't busy?
You got it. Sit down.
Gabby, I want you to help me. I got a big problem.
Any problem you got is right in my line. Right up my line.
It revolves a sum of $300.
Definitely in my line. Definitely in my line.
But I can't pay you no fee.
That's the end of the line.
Yeah.
Tell him, Kingfish. Tell him.
Well, tell me this, Gabby. Is you done had any experience with women criminals?
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And I discovered when a woman turns criminal, she's got much more consideration than a man. Much more consideration.
What do you mean, consideration?
Well, I once handled a case for a woman that killed her husband by stabbing him with a hat pin. Stabbed him with a hat pin.
A hat pin? Why didn't she use a gun?
That was the consideration. She didn't want to wake up the children.
Now, listen here, Gabby. My wife has done stole $300.
You got a nice combination there. You was light-headed and your wife was light-fingered.
Yeah. Oh, this is serious, Gabby. How would you like it if you was married to a woman like Sapphire all your life and then she had to be sent away for 2 years?
Lovely, lovely.
Yeah, but listen, Gabby, what is the Kingfish going to do?
Well, somebody's got to pay for that crime. I got an idea. If you don't want her to go to the pen, why don't you take the rap or get somebody else to take it for her?
That somebody else's idea don't sound bad. Yeah.
Just get somebody else to confess to crime. I don't think you'll have no trouble finding somebody. A lot of people are looking for a one-room apartment.
Well, listen, Kingfish, you know something? I think Shorty the barber's our man. He done been evicted out of his room, and he ain't got no place to stay.
Well, that's that. Now, come on, get out of here, boys. Get out of here. I'm a busy man. Really up to my neck. Let me check my calendar here and see when my next appointment is. Oh, yeah.
When is it, Gabby?
November 16th. I got to go to the dentist.
Oh, listen, Anna, we got to sell Shorty on the idea of taking the rap and going up for 2 years.
Yeah, I know it. Well, let's get on in the barber shop here and do it. All right. Hello, Shorty.
Well, if it ain't King, Andy, I'm glad you... But what's... Hiya, fellas.
Shorty, old pal, I understand that you can't find a place to live.
No, it's terrible going from one place to another. I can't get no rest. Last night, the only place I could find to sleep was in one of them Harlem all-night burlesque shows.
You mean where they got them dancing girls?
Yeah, I didn't close my eyes until 6 o'clock this morning.
Shorty, we are going to do something for you that'll make you happy. We're going to arrange for something that we know you need. Something that will make your life sweet and pleasant for you again.
Oh, Kingfish. That's the sweetest thing I heard since Truman's speech last night.
You know something? Mr. Truman sure made millions of horses happy.
Shorty, how would you like to live in a big place where you ain't got to pay no rent and you get all your food for nothing?
Oh, man, that sounds wonderful, Kingfish. I'd like to live in a place like that for the rest of my life.
Well, I might arrange for it for 2 years.
But where's the place? Where is it?
Oh, it's a beautiful spot, Shorty, overlooking the Hudson. Yeah, sort of a stone house, big, plenty of police protection.
Yeah, 24-hour service.
Yeah.
Well, what's the name of the place? What's the name?
Well, the name, oh, yeah, I think they sometimes call it Felony Acres, yeah.
Yeah, or Larceny Manor.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it. That's what I'm looking for. Wait a minute, boys. They sound like a penitentiary.
Oh, what's wrong in living there? I could get you a nice congealed roommate.
Oh, no, nothing doing that. That's final.
Well, Anna, I guess the deal is off. I know how Sapphire would treat me if things was reversed. She just told me that marriage is built on faith and trust. And I'm going to take the rap for her. And I'm going to say that I done it myself.
Oh, Kingfish, you mean you're going to the penitentiary for your wife?
Right.
You know something? You was a man among men. Yes, sir. You was living up to the marriage vows. You was what I call a first-class chump.
as clean as it can be. Give it the Rinso 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
It's a fact. Rinso gets out stubborn dirt 1, 2, 3. For Rinso has a triple action formula. Yes, Rinso gives you all three. 1, Rinso's soapy rich base makes suds that drive deep down. Gets out stubborn dirt without hard rubbing or scrubbing. 2, Rinso's suds booster means even in hard water, you get heaps of hard-working suds, and fast. 3, Rinso's grease chaser goes after grease and grime, but it's easy on hands. Helps prevent yellowing of clothes, too. So if you want a wash that's the envy of the neighborhood, just remember...
Rinso what?
Well, boys, going to the police station and give myself up.
Well, try to stop worrying, Kingfish, and sort of put this thing out of your mind.
I can't do it, Henry. This never would have happened if Sapphire hadn't stole that money.
Yeah, you're right. If she needed money, why didn't she just give a bad check like most people do?
Well, I'll try to take it. This is life, I guess.
Well, don't make it worse than it is, Kingfish. It ain't life. It's only 2 years.
Yeah, but I ain't a young man no more, Henry. I don't know if I can do 2 years.
Well, do as much of it as you can.
You know, I once read a book about prisons, Kingfish. It's called 20,000 Years in Sing Sing.
That's some rap, all right. 20,000 years.
Yeah, a rap like that might break a man's spirit.
Yeah, staying away for 2 years is a long time. Just think, I won't be out till 1948.
Well, if you put your name on the waiting list now, you'll be just in time to get a 1946 automobile.
Well, boys, I'll be a lonely old man up there.
Well, we'll try to find out when we can see you there, and we'll meet you in the visiting room and bring you something to eat.
You better make it a hunk of mush, because you're going to have to push it through that screen.
Well, this is a sad trip, boys. Don't forget to write to me now.
Yes, drop us a line and let us know your permanent number, Kingfish.
And try to get a number with 7 in it, too. They're as lucky.
Yeah, well, Andy, come on, go down with me to the police chief while I confess the crime for my wife. I know she'd do the same for me.
Yeah, I'll go down with you, Kingfish.
And, Henry, I'll say goodbye to you now. Goodbye, Henry, and there's one little favor that I want to ask you.
What is it, Kingfish, my pal?
While I was going away, try to forget what Sapphire's done. Forget that side of her. And promise me that you'll invite her over to your house once in a while.
Why, certainly, Kingfish. We still have the highest regard for Sapphire, and we've never questioned her integrity. But when she does come over, ask her to bring back that pickle fork.
Which one of you two men want to see me?
Mr. Chief, I is the one.
Yes, sir. I ain't no accessory to the crime or nothing.
Get to the facts.
Yes, sir. I just want to ask you one thing, Mr. Chief. Do you get any time off if you would turn state's evidence against somebody that's very close to you, say like myself?
I don't get what you're talking about.
He wants to be his own stool pigeon.
Well, come on, let's get going. What's on your mind?
Well, I know that this is going to mean the penitentiary for me. I want to confess. I believe I'll come back some other time.
Hey, wait a minute there. You might as well come clean right now.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kingfish.
Mr. Chief, I got a record as clean as a pin. I ain't never done nothing wrong that I've ever been caught at in my life.
Well, what have you done?
Well, the other night, Your Honor, I dressed up like a woman and I went into the Thompson dress shop. And when they wasn't looking, I grabbed $300 out the cash register and I run out the place.
So you're the one that robbed the Thompson dress shop, huh?
Yeah.
Now, listen, you. I don't know what you're up to, but you're in for a little surprise. Here, take the $300. We've already caught the crook. Now, get out of here.
Caught the crook? Yeah, you done caught my Sapphire?
Well, I don't know. But if your Sapphire's a big, ugly, stupid woman about 6 foot 2 inches tall, that's who we've caught.
Well, that ain't Sapphire. She ain't but 5'1". I know that.
Oh, Kingfish, that is good news.
Oh, come on, Andy. Let me go home to my wife. So here's your $300, Sapphire. I thought you stole it, and I was just trying to protect you.
George, I've been looking high and low for that money that belonged to the woman's auxiliary. How could you think I stole it? How could you think such a thing of the one you was married to?
Well, honey, I just...
Listen, darling. Remember our agreement. We must always trust each other, no matter what happens. Remember, marriage is built on faith and trust.
Honey, I knew I was wrong to ever think such a thing about the one I was married to.
There ain't no excuse for it, George. How can married people ever think that the other one would commit such a terrible crime as robbery?
Well, I'll get the door, honey.
George Stevens?
Yes, officer.
Come along with me. Your wife reported you for stealing $300 from her.
Ladies, seems to me, if I was you, what I'd want from a wash day soap would be action.
Yeah. The more action the soap has, the less action you gotta have. Now, Rinso's got 'em. Triple action, son.
So let Rinso do it, eh, boys? Well, ladies, why not let Rinso save you work next wash day? Rinso's triple action formula is especially devised to get out stubborn dirt fast, to save you hard scrubbing. And yet Rinso's so safe, it keeps washable colors tops in brightness. Rinso Bright gets white things tops in whiteness. Rinso White. And it's simple as 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Ask for Rinso.
Good night, folks.
See you next Tuesday.
Be sure to be with us next Tuesday evening at this same time when the makers of Rinso will again present the Amos and Andy Show. This is Carlton Cadell saying good night to all of you from all of us. Ladies, without the waste kitchen fat you've been saving, the soap shortage would be worse. So please go on saving every drop of waste kitchen fat possible. Then, rush it to your meat dealer. He'll pay you cash. And remember, more fat means more soap.
I never guessed why Mary didn't want to see me more often until I overheard that whisper.
You know, B.O.
The way to make sure that people won't whisper about you is to take a daily Lifebuoy bath. Yes, the way to get all-over protection and lasting protection is to take a bath with Lifebuoy. Lifebuoy is the only soap especially made to stop B.O. If you don't bathe with Lifebuoy, people may whisper,
B.O.
Get Lifebuoy today.
The Amos and Andy Show is broadcast to our servicemen all over the world. This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
Palmolive Soap, your beauty hope, and Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous, caressable hair bring you Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden. Not very many of us like to get up early in the morning, but our Miss Brooks, who teaches English at Madison High School, doesn't seem to mind at all.
No, in fact, I get quite a kick out of waking up in the morning because it offers proof positive that I managed to live through the day before. However, last Wednesday, my landlady, Mrs. Davis, woke me at what seemed like an excessively early hour.
Connie, get up, Connie.
Why?
Because it's 6 a.m., and I'm leaving the house early, and there are several things I want you to do for me.
Like what, for instance?
Like feeding our cat Minerva at 5 minutes after 7.
But why don't you feed her now?
Why, Connie, you ought to know better than that. Minerva never gets up until 7.
I'm sorry, I lost my head. That cat certainly doesn't lead a dog's life. But why are you leaving the house so early, Mrs. Davis?
I've got to visit my sister Angela. I received a message from her during the night.
Oh? I hope nothing's wrong.
No, she's quite well, she said. She just wants to see me.
She must have called pretty late. I didn't hear the phone ring at all.
Oh, she didn't phone, Connie.
Was it a wire?
No.
Special delivery letter?
No.
Walkie-talkie? Pigeon? Before I use up my 20 questions, how did you hear from your sister?
Well, you know how absent-minded Angela is.
Yes.
And you probably haven't noticed it, but lately I've been growing quite absent-minded, too.
I've noticed it.
Last night, I finally arrived at a point where Angela and I were tuned to the same wavelength. She reached me by mental telepathy.
How did she come over, AM or FM?
You can joke if you like, but I know just as surely as I'm standing here that Angela wants to see me immediately. So I'll have to leave right after breakfast.
All right, Mrs. Davis. It'll do you good to get out of the house for a change anyway. Now, what did you want me to do for you?
Do for me?
Yes. You said when you woke me that there were several things you wanted me to do?
I did.
Yes. In connection with your leaving the house this morning?
But I didn't leave the house this morning.
I know, but you're going to.
I am.
I must be tuned in on the wrong wavelength. I'll see you at breakfast, Mrs. Davis.
Well, how did you like your breakfast, Connie?
Fine, Mrs. Davis. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll get ready to go to school. Mr. Boynton's picking me up.
Oh, good. Well, I'll finish these dishes before I go, Connie.
Oh, I'll get it. Coming. Well, if it isn't our school custodian, Mr. Jensen.
If it isn't your school custodian, Mr. Jensen, then what? When you opened the door, you said, well, if it isn't our school custodian, Mr. Jensen.
Mm-hmm.
Then I said, if it isn't your school custodian, Mr. Jensen, then what? Catching people saying things that don't take any real meaning is a hobby of mine.
Oh, that's very cute, Mr. Jensen. Won't you come in?
Oh, thank you, Miss Brooks.
Oh, that's better.
What's better?
Look, Mr. Jensen.
Look at what?
I don't mean look, I mean listen. I'm in kind of a hurry.
What kind?
The usual kind. To leave the house and get to school. Therefore, your hobby doesn't have the charm for me it might have at some other time.
I guess you've got me there.
Where? Oh, great. You've got me doing it. Never mind, Mr. Jensen. What can I do for you?
Well, you can open up the school this morning if you will, Miss Brooks. I talked to Mr. Conklin on the phone, and he said to give you the key.
Oh.
Here it is. It's this fat little devil with the blue ribbon on it.
Oh, I thought that was your tie. Oh, you mean the key to the school. But why don't you open up as usual?
Oh, because I have another stop to make before I go to school that might cause me to be tardy.
Another stop?
Yes, the maternity hospital. My wife is going to have a baby.
Why, Mr. Jensen?
Well, I don't know, just because I... It's our 6th child, Miss Brooks.
Honestly, Mr. Jensen?
Well, I didn't steal them, if that's what you mean. Well, I'd better be getting along now. My wife will be expecting me. She's sort of used to having me around.
I imagine she is, Mr. Jensen. Please accept my heartiest best wishes for both of you.
Oh, thank you, Miss Brooks. May I remind you to be prompt in opening the school? I wouldn't want Mr. Conklin and the students to be kept waiting.
Now, they won't be, Mr. Jensen. And be sure and let me know whether your wife has a boy or a girl.
I will, Miss Brooks.
Good day, Mr. Jensen.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
I'll just put this key on the hall table here so I don't forget it.
Oh, Connie, will you come into the kitchen a moment, please?
Yes, Mrs. Davis.
I'm all finished with the dishes, and I'd like to leave immediately. Now, Connie, when you wake Minerva, be sure to wake her gently. She's been quite sensitive about noise ever since she fell into my new Speed Queen washing machine.
I don't know why. It did a very good job on her. But I'll be careful not to upset her, Mrs. Davis.
Oh, here's Minerva now. Good morning, dear. How did you sleep? I'm glad. Well, I'll be running along now. You'll give Minerva her milk, won't you, Connie?
Oh, certainly, Mrs. Davis. Remember me to your sister Angela, if you remember.
I will, dear. Put a little cream in with the milk. She likes it that way.
All right, Mrs. Davis. That is, if we have any cream. Here we are. No cream left. She'll have to drink it black. I'll just pour the milk into this dish. There you are, Minerva. There isn't any cream left, Minerva. We'll have cream for you tomorrow. Drink that milk or I'll turn on the washing machine. I thought that would do it.
I'll get it. I'm on my way out anyway. Oh, come in, Mr. Boynton.
Oh, thanks, Mrs. Davis. You leaving the house so early?
Yes. Let's see if I've got everything. My purse, my hat, my shoes, and... Oh, yes, now I'm all set. You'll find Miss Brooks in the kitchen, Mr. Boynton. I'm going over to see my sister Angela.
Oh, say hello for me.
Hello.
I mean to your sister, Mrs. Davis.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Boynton. Goodbye.
Good morning, Miss Brooks.
Hello, Mr. Boynton. Would you like a cup of coffee?
Oh, yes, thanks. Will you join me?
I'd love to.
Here, I'll pour. I ran into Mr. Jensen down the block. Cream?
Yes, please.
He told me his wife was going to have a baby.
I think large families are wonderful. When I meet the right man, if I haven't already met him, I'll want to get married and have several children of my own.
Sugar?
Yes, Mr. Boynton. I mean, yes.
Say, look at the clock. We'd better hurry with this coffee.
Oh, you're so right, Mr. Boynton. And before we go, I'd better unlock the back door. Mrs. Davis invariably forgets her key.
Oh, she didn't forget it this time. When she was leaving, I noticed she took a little fat one off the hall table.
She took the little fat... Mr. Boynton, that was the key to the school. Mr. Jensen asked me to open up this morning.
Oh, no, Miss Brooks.
Oh, yes, Mr. Boynton.
Oh, gosh. Pretty soon, Mr. Conklin and all the students will be arriving at school, and nobody will be able to get in. Mr. Conklin will be furious at you.
Don't remind me. I can see the sparks flashing from his tongue already. Gee, I'm in quite a spot, aren't I? Aren't I? That shows how upset I am, Mr. Boynton. An English teacher should never be guilty of saying, aren't I?
But, Miss Brooks, what about school? Suppose we hurry over and
Aren't is
explain things.
merely the contraction of are not. Therefore, one who says, aren't I, is guilty of saying, are not I.
Miss Brooks, what about...
The correct form is, am I not? Aren't I, being nothing more than an absurd and altogether ungrammatical affectation.
Miss Brooks, what about school?
I ain't going.
Brooks, starring Eve Arden, will continue in just a moment. But first, here is Vern Smith. Here's wonderful news, ladies. Wonderful, wonderful news. Now there's something thrillingly new in Palmolive Soap's famous Beauty Lather. Yes, something thrillingly new. Palmolive's famous Beauty Lather now brings you new fragrance, new charm, new allure.
Millions of women will prefer Beauty Lather Palmolive over all other leading toilet soaps the minute they try it. For Palmolive Soap's famous Beauty Lather now has a new, clean, flower-fresh fragrance for new allure, new charm.
So, ladies, forget all other beauty care and use Palmolive Soap the way doctors advise for a lovelier complexion. Just stop improper cleansing and instead wash your face with Palmolive soap 3 times a day, massaging Palmolive's wonderful beauty lather onto your skin for 60 seconds each time to get its full beautifying effect. Then rinse. That's all. All types of skin, young, older, oily, respond to it quickly. Don't wait another day to try Palmolive's beauty lather. You'll be thrilled by its new fragrance, new charm, new allure. Thrilled again by the fresher, brighter complexion doctors prove may soon be yours.
For new loveliness all over, use big bath-size Palmolive in tub or shower.
Well, I finally decided to face the music, even though I knew that the music would consist of some angry pear-shaped tones emanating from Mr. Conklin's pear-shaped head. By the time Mr. Boynton dropped me off, there were so many students milling around dear old Madison High that it looked like a training school for young pickets. I found Mr. Conklin pacing up and down outside his office windows.
Ah, there you are, Miss Brooks.
Good morning, Mr. Conklin.
It's about time. Now then, if you'll give me the key.
The key?
Yes, the key. Let me have it.
I'll let you have it as quickly as possible. There is no key.
No key? But Mr. Jensen was supposed to...
He did. But then I put it on a table in the hall, and Mrs. Davis took it with her to her sister Angela's. It wasn't really my fault, Mr. Conklin.
I don't care whose fault it was. We've got to get into this school, and quickly. You see, Miss Brooks, the Board of Education is presenting Madison High with a plaque today.
A plaque? For what, Mr. Conklin?
It's an award for the best attendance record of any high school in the county.
Really? Why, that's wonderful. Congratulations, Mr. Conklin.
Thank you, Miss Brooks, but I'd rather receive your felicitations inside my office instead of out here.
That's your phone, isn't it, Mr. Conklin?
Yes, it is. But thanks to your far-sighted suggestion after those 2 boxes of chalk disappeared, ours is the only school with a double lock on the front door and bars on all the windows. I can't get in to answer it.
Well, maybe it isn't important, Mr. Conklin.
I think I know who's calling, Miss Brooks. It's the Board of Education. They want to know when I'm going to hold an assembly.
An assembly?
Yes, Miss Brooks. They want to give us a plaque for perfect attendance, and nobody's in school to answer the phone.
Oh, please, Mr. Conklin, try to be calm. We'll think of something. Maybe I could call Mrs. Davis when she gets to her sister's. No, Angela has no phone. I know. I'll go out to her house.
You'll do no such thing, Miss Brooks. We'll need every teacher we've got to set up classes on the athletic field.
Hello, Daddy. Miss Brooks. Don't you think it's time we were getting into school?
Now, that's an excellent suggestion, Harriet.
Miss Brooks hasn't got the key.
Wait a minute. You drive, don't you, Harriet?
Well, certainly, Miss Brooks. Can I go somewhere for you?
You'll stay right here, Harriet. There must be someone else you can send, Miss Brooks.
How about my dreamboat, Walter Denton?
Dreamboat? He's an idiot.
Daddy, Walter's a wonderful driver. He'll pick up the key wherever it is and have it back here in nothing flat.
Nothing but his head, that is. Well, maybe that's a good idea. Miss Brooks, get Denton to drive out to wherever Mrs. Davis is. At least his brain is expendable.
All right, Mr. Conklin. I'll look for Walter and ask him to go after the key.
You won't have to look for him, Miss Brooks. Walter's coming over right now.
Well, if it isn't my light of love. Greetings, fair Harriet. Bonjour, Miss Brooks. And to you, esteemed principal, felicitations. What's the matter, Mr. Conklin? Catch a rancid wheat cake at breakfast?
Mr. Conklin's not in a very good mood this morning, Walter. You see, today's the day the Board of Education is supposed to award Madison a plaque for its fine attendance record.
Well, what's bad about that? Let's get into the jolly institution and snag that little beauty.
I'd love to, Walter. Maybe we could melt you down and pour you through the bar. Now, I'm going to inform the other teachers of our dilemma, Miss Brooks. Please get Expendable here on his way. Come with me, Harriet.
Yes, Daddy. Bye, Walter.
Adieu, lovely one, and lovely one's father.
Jack!
Miss Brooks, there are times when I sense an animosity in that man. Now, what do you suppose could cause such a reaction?
Hatred, for one thing. Now, please listen carefully, Walter. You know Mrs. Davis's sister Angela, don't you?
Oh, sure, Miss Brooks. I gave Mrs. Davis a ride out there last week.
Good. Do you remember where she lives?
Well, it's way on the other side of town. I didn't notice the address, but I think I could find it. There was a mailbox on the corner.
A mailbox? Isn't there anything else that would help you identify it?
Well, nothing outstanding.
What color was the house?
I don't remember the background color, but the stripes were purple. I guess I could find it all right, Miss Brooks. But I wish you'd tell me what this is all about.
Well, it's about the key to the school, Walter. Mrs. Davis walked off with it this morning, and it's up to you to go and get it back. Now, just ask her for the little fat key on a blue ribbon.
Your wish is my command, Miss Brooks. My eager jalopy is champing at the curb.
What kind of a car is that anyway, Walter?
Oh, it has no name, Miss Brooks, just a slogan.
A slogan?
Yeah. You know how they call the new Hudson the car you step down into?
Yes.
Well, this is the box you back away from.
Well, Miss Brooks, it's over an hour since Denton left, and he's still not back with that key.
I'm sure it won't be much longer, Mr. Conklin.
Here goes that phone again. I wish Mr. Stone would stop calling my office.
I know one way to stop him, Mr. Conklin. We can go to the malt shop next door and call him. That way you can stall him off till Walter gets back with the key.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. Better than standing around listening to that phone. Come on, Miss Brooks.
Well, here we are, Mr. Conklin. Martin's Malt Shop, Madison's unofficial annex.
After you, Miss Brooks.
Well, if it isn't Miss Brooks.
Hi, Marty.
Sneak away from the ogre for a little fizz water?
No, the ogre is along today.
Sorry, Mr. Conklin. Just a little nickname I picked up from the kids.
Why, I'm surprised at you, Marty. Nobody at Madison calls Mr. Conklin by anything but his right name.
Well, I'm happy to know that, Miss Brooks.
Oh, here's the phone booth right over here, pear-shaped. Mr. Conklin. I'll dial the Board of Education for you. School days, dear old golden rule.
Board of Education, Mr. Stone speaking.
Mr. Conklin calling you, Mr. Stone. One moment, please. Here you are, Mr. Conklin.
Thank you. Hello, Mr. Stone?
Is that you, Conklin?
Yes, it is, Mr. Stone.
I might as well have a Coke while I'm waiting.
Well, it's about time. I was beginning to think that Madison High School had slid into the sea.
Well, I had to step out of my office for a minute, Mr. Stone, but I'm back in it now. Yes, sir.
What's that?
What's what?
Osgood, are you hissing me?
Oh, no, sir, no. We must have a bad connection.
It's a terrible connection. You say you're in your office?
Yes, sir.
I'll call you right back.
But, Mr. Stone...
And for heaven's sakes, don't disappear again. Goodbye.
Wait, Mr. Stone. Wait, Mr... This is the last straw.
What did he say, Mr. Conklin?
He said he's going to call me right back. Now I'm in deeper than ever.
Oh, we'll figure some way out of this. After all, Mr. Stone is only a human being.
A human being who happens to be the head of our local Board of Education. Oh, this is awful.
Excuse me, Daddy, but the telephone in your office is ringing.
The telephone in your office is ringing.
What do you suggest, Harriet?
Well, I don't know, Daddy, but don't worry. I'm sure Walter won't fail us.
He'd better not. Now, Miss Brooks, I'm going over to inspect the classes that have been set up on the athletic field. I want you to call the board and talk to Mr. Stone.
Me? But what should I tell him?
Improvise.
Oh, but Mr. Conklin...
Call him off, Miss Brooks. I'm counting on you.
Oh, great. Well, I might as well get it over with.
What are you going to tell Mr. Stone, Miss Brooks?
I don't know yet, Harriet. I'll wait till he answers.
Hello, Mr. Stone speaking.
Hello, Mr. Stone. This is Miss Brooks at Madison High.
Yes?
I'm calling from Mr. Conklin's office, Mr. Stone. He asked me to call you.
Give me a double strawberry temptation, Marty.
Oh, he did. What about, Miss Brooks?
About his not being able to talk to you for a while.
What in the world is that sound?
Oh, that's the radiator, Mr. Stone. It's defective.
Radiator? In tune?
Well, they're just testing it. As a matter of fact, that's why Mr. Conklin can't talk to you. One of our students was just in his office, and this jet of hot water started out of the radiator, and Mr. Conklin jumped in front of the boy to save him and accidentally knocked out 6 of the boy's teeth.
radiator should be fixed immediately.
Oh, it was, Mr. Stone. But Mr. Conklin doesn't want to leave the boy's side. He's on the couch across the room. He's giving him a transfusion.
A transfusion? Of teeth?
Oh, didn't I tell you? He also cut his foot. He's in a bad way, Mr. Stone. We're hoping for the best.
Where is the boy now? In a malted milk machine?
Hang on. There must be somebody else on this line, Mr. Stone. I'd better call you back.
No, Miss Brooks, don't bother. I don't quite know what's going on at Madison today, but I'm going to find out. You tell Mr. Conklin that I'll call him in exactly 10 minutes. If he isn't at the phone prepared to carry on a rational conversation at that time, well, he'd better be.
But, Mr. Stone...
Goodbye, Miss Brooks.
Goodbye. And goodbye, Mr. Conklin.
Well?
Well, nothing. It's worse than ever. Mr. Stone's going to call again in 10 minutes. Wait a minute, Harriet. I think I've got an idea.
What is it, Miss Brooks?
First, I'll get Marty to hang an out-of-order sign on this phone booth, and then I'll call Mr. Conklin's office in 5 minutes and leave the receiver off the hook on this end.
Well, what'll that do?
Well, that will ensure Mr. Stone's receiving a busy signal when he calls in 10 minutes. And that's what he'll continue to receive until Walter returns with the key.
Miss Brooks, you're a positive genius.
Please, Harriet, don't exaggerate. I'm not a bit positive.
Please calm down, Daddy. I'm sure Walter will be back any minute.
Oh, that Denton. Instead of sending him for the key, I should have sent some other idiot. I should have gone myself. He's nothing but an unreliable laggard, a detestable, nauseating, blundering knucklehead.
Excuse me, Mr. Conklin. Here's the key.
Bless you, boy. Well, don't stand there, Denton. Open the door.
Yes, sir. There you are, sir.
Out of the way, out of the way. Now to get that phone. It must be Mr. Stone. Well, I'll just give him a piece of my mind. If he thinks he can hound me all day. Hello? Osgood Conklin speaking. Hello? 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 They gave up. What? There's no dial tone. Some lame brain must have called this number and left the receiver off the hook. Hello? 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 Hello?
Mr. Conklin, sir, I found this telegram under your door.
Telegram? Let me see that. Let's see. Well, it's from Mr. Stone. It says, Dear Osgood, realizing the futility of trying to reach you by telephone, I hereby inform you that the Board of Education has authorized you to suspend classes for the remainder of the school day in recognition of Madison's splendid attendance record.
Gosh, Mr. Conklin, does that mean there's no more school today?
Evidently, Walter. Now, please go out to the athletic field and inform the teachers and students of my decision to give them the rest of the day off.
Yes, sir. Oh, before I go, I better bring you back the key. I left it in the door.
Just leave it there. I've got a little work to clean up. I can get it on my way home.
Well, let's make the most of our afternoon off, Miss Brooks. I'd like to do something really exciting today, if you're game.
Game?
Miss Brooks, I'd like to take you to the zoo.
I'm afraid that's a little too gamey for me, Mr. Boynton. I'd much rather go to a movie. Say, we must be the last two people on the grounds. I feel like... Oh, excuse me a minute.
Oh, what's wrong, Miss Brooks?
I just noticed the front door. Walter left the key in it. You know, the extra lock was my idea.
Yes, I know.
Mr. Conklin's been so worried about this key all day, I'm not going to take any chances.
Well, what are you going to do, Miss Brooks?
I'm going to lock up the school and mail this key to Mr. Conklin.
As our Miss Brooks returns in just a moment, but first...
Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl.
Tonight, show him how much lovelier your hair can look after a Luster Cream shampoo. Only Luster Cream brings you Kay Daumit's magic formula blend of secret ingredients plus gentle lanolin. Gives loveliness lather even in hardest water. Glamorizes your hair as you wash it. Luster Cream. Not a soap, not a liquid, but a dainty cream shampoo. Leaves hair fragrantly clean, free of loose dandruff, glistening with sheen. Soft, manageable, gives new beauty to all hairdos or permanents. 4-ounce jar, $1. Smaller sizes, either tubes or jars. Tonight, try Luster Cream Shampoo and be a
Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl. You owe your crowning glory to a luster cream shampoo.
And now, once again, here is our Miss Brooks.
Well, after I mailed the key, Mr. Boynton took me to the zoo. Then we had a nice Dutch dinner, saw a very exciting movie, and wound up at Marty's malt shop.
Well, give us a couple of malters, Marty.
Coming right up, folks.
That certainly was a terrifying picture, especially when Lucy starts to hear the voices.
Oh, I don't know. Lots of manic depressives wind up like that.
Beg pardon, Mr. Boynton?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, I guess it's the effect of that movie.
Hello. Can you hear me? Won't somebody answer me?
Now, wait a minute. I'm not that far gone.
Hello out there.
It's coming from the phone booth. I better see what that is. Well, that's funny. The receiver's still off the hook. Hello?
Hello? Is that you, Miss Brooks?
Yes. Mr. Conklin?
It is indeed.
Have you been trying to reach me, Mr. Conklin?
I have indeed.
Oh, if it's about the school, Mr. Conklin, you don't have a thing to worry about. I locked it securely before I left the campus. Nobody can possibly get in.
That's not what I'm worried about, Miss Brooks. I'm worried about getting out.
You mean? Oh, no, you're not still.
Yes, I'm still. Now get over here with that key!
Yes, sir. Right away, sir. The key? Oh, Mr. Boynton, do you think you could lift me up?
Why, of course, Miss Brooks.
Good. Let's get down to the corner. I want you to slip me into the mailbox.
Next week, tune into another Our Miss Brooks show, brought to you by Palmolive Soap, Your Beauty Hope, and Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous, caressable hair. Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden, is produced by Larry Burns, written and directed by Al Lewis, with music by Wilbur Hatch.
Men, do you shave with a lather or brushless shave cream? Palmolive shaving cream comes both ways. And whichever way you prefer to shave, you'll find that using either Palmolive brushless or Palmolive lather shaving cream can bring you more comfortable, actually smoother shaves. Here's the proof. 2,548 men tried the new Palmolive way to shave described on the tube. And no matter how they had shaved before, 3 out of every 4 got more comfortable, actually smoother shaves. Get Palmolive brushless or Palmolive lather shaving cream today.
For mystery liberally sprinkled with laughs, listen to Mr. and Mrs. North, the exciting, fun-packed adventures of an amateur detective and his beautiful wife. Tune in Tuesday evening over most of these same stations. And be with us again next week at this same time for another comedy episode of Our Miss Brooks. Bob Lamont speaking. Stay tuned now for Life with Luigi, which follows over most of these stations. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Of Avalon cigarettes, please.
Yes, sir. Just a moment, sir. Don't forget your change. You'd never guess, but Avalon's cost you less.
So why not always travel on with Avalon?
Good evening, friends. Good evening. This is Del King saying welcome to Avalon Time with Kurt Massey, Edna Stillwell, Jeanette, the Avalon Chorus, Bob Strong and his orchestra, and radio's red-headed ragamuffin, Richard Red Skelton. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know what one thing makes Avalons entirely different from any other cigarette on the market? Do you know why Avalons stand in a class by themselves? Simply one reason. Avalons are quality cigarettes that sell for 3 to 5 cents less per pack than other popular price brands. 3 to 5 cents less, mind you. A repeated saving that will net you many, many extra dollars in very short order. And certainly you can use a few extra dollars now and then. But bear this in mind, friends. Without knowing, you'd never guess Avalons cost you less. They're union-made from a perfect blend of the finest Turkish and domestic tobaccos that money can buy. In fact, you couldn't get finer quality tobaccos in any other cigarette, regardless of price, regardless of brand. Truly, friends, Avalons offer you advantages, money-saving advantages that you'll certainly want to take advantage of. Why not try a pack of Avalons tonight? And now for our first splash in the fountain of uselessness, we bring you Headline Hokum, as compounded, culled, cornered, coaxed, and concocted from current questions by that querulous, quixotic quinduct, Red Skelton.
Thank you very much. What a quick nut. Thank you and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And now for the gossip. News from coast to coast. Washington, D.C. A famous educator said that children should be taught more about birds and bees. I agree with him. I think that the mother should tell the kids about the bees. My mother told me about the bee. And when I went into vaudeville, I found out about the birds. Building booms in the United States. Seems like everybody's building a new house. In fact, I just built a little place out in the suburbs. That's French for a long bus ride. I built a very modern home, though. In fact, it's so modern, we even have a playroom for the termites. Chicago, Illinois. Experts say that women are better drivers than men. They should be. They don't have to look at those hats. But, you know, women are getting to be better drivers. The other day, I saw a woman hold out her hand to make a left turn, and so help me, she actually turned left. In fact, 3 cops dropped dead. I sent it to Ripley. He sent it back, says, I don't believe it. The price of food's going up. You know, that's really a fact. The other day, I bought a T-bone steak. It cost me 50 cents. For another $1, I could have had meat on it. Atlantic City, New Jersey. A well-known group of child psychologists decide that if a child is naughty at the dining room table, do not spank them on an empty stomach. I mean, on a full stomach, rather. Turn them over. Washington, D.C., the President of the United States called special session of Congress. One senator was hurrying to Washington, got indignant because the Pullman porter didn't have his berth ready. The porter says, how was I to know? I thought senators made their own bunk. News in the world of sports. Chicago Cubs wins 4 straight games. That's a misprint if I ever saw one. Philadelphia. Tony Galento wins the heavyweight battle from Lou Nova. Last night after the fight, Tony Galento was walking up Market Street in Philadelphia. A tavern, and one keg neds the other keg and says, there's the one with legs I was telling you about. Well, that just about takes care of the news for tonight, so I'll step aside and let Jeanette pour her heart into a song. Sing it pretty, Jeanette, but pretty.
I put my heart into a song, and when you hear it, please remember from the start, you won't be hearing just the words and tune of a song. You will be listening to I'm afraid the words I choose are not so smart. I couldn't think of clever things to say in my heart. I had to say it with my heart. If it never played on the hit parade, it will still contain a heart that is beating true. If it's not a hit, I won't mind a bit, long as it conveys the love that I feel for you. Here is my heart wrapped in a song, and if you take it, please don't tear my song apart. For if you do, you won't be just destroying a song. You will be tearing out my heart.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we come to our slice of life, a short playlet about things that happen in everyday life, things that you do and that I do. In fact, everybody does.
What's this one about tonight, Red?
Well, it's about a young fellow that's in love, and he's going to call on his girl. She's fixing dinner, see? And it's their first time alone. You set the scene, Del.
All right, Red. The place, somewhere in your hometown. The time, 7 o'clock. The girl, Edna Stillwell. The boy, Red Skelton. The dinner, hash. The girl is at her house fixing. The boy is at his house drooling. The scene opens at her house.
Now, brother, you get out of here. Richard's coming over, and I think he's going to ask me to marry him.
You mean that goon with the haunted look? Oh, that guy should get married. He's the most married-looking single man I ever saw. Hey, sis.
Yes? What is it?
I think the wrong answer to a maiden's prayer is here.
Well, let him in. I'm putting supper on the table.
Okay.
Hello, darling.
How are you, sweetheart?
Oh, pardon me. Yeah, I thought you were Edna.
No, I always look this way after I take a hot bath.
Well, look, Edna said we were going to be here alone. Are you going to eat with us?
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
I'll be right out, Richard.
Okay, honey. Well, Roger, you better be going now. You'll be late for your scout meeting.
There ain't no scout meeting. Ain't no scout meeting tonight. Besides, I quit the Boy Scouts last week.
What's the matter?
My knees got cold. Anyway, I think I'll stick around.
Yeah.
My sister's a nice girl, and I don't like that glint you're trying to get in your eye.
Ah, come on. Take a walk or something. Gee, you know how it is. Here's a dime.
A dime?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, listen, the price is $1 to everybody.
Yeah. What's the idea? You used to scram when I give you a dime. What's the extra 90 cents for?
I just heard about the amusement tax.
Yeah. Well, here's a dime. Take it or leave it.
Now, listen, I need $1.
Yeah?
And, by the way, who was that girl you were talking to yesterday, huh?
Oh, well, it wasn't anybody in particular.
Yeah? Sis sure would be sore if she found out about that.
Yeah, she sure... You wouldn't dare. You know, you're a regular troublemaker, you are. Gee, you make anything out of nothing. All I did was ask the girl what time it was.
Yeah, you must be awful absent-minded. I saw you write it down.
Yeah. Okay, here's your buck. Now beat it before I give you a bop on the head.
So long, fella. Hope you enjoy your dinner. And whatever happens, keep your chin up.
Why?
We just put on a clean tablecloth. But so long, sis. I'm going down to the drugstore.
All right, but remember, no gambling. Oh, hello, dear. Are you hungry?
Yeah, a little bit. Gee, how are you? Gee, isn't it wonderful? Alone at last. Just you, me, and my appetite.
Oh, Richard, you're so romantic.
Yeah?
I hope you like it here. I want you to act just like you're at home.
You mean I can't smoke?
Don't be silly. Now take off your coat and let's see.
All right. But we have a tough time trying to digest those buttons.
Oh, Richard. You're always making jokes. Sort of. Now, come on. I hope you like my dinner. I'm not a very good cook, though.
I'll bet you're a good cook.
No, not very. Here, taste the coffee and see if it's all right.
Okay.
Is the coffee good?
Just a little chewy. Hey, what kind of soup is this?
That's chicken.
Chicken?
Yes.
Chicken must have walked through with stilts on.
Here, try one of my biscuits.
Did you bake them over yourself?
Yes. But, of course, Brother had to help me lift them off the stove.
Oh, I think I'll try one. Gee, who is your brother? Charles Atlas? Say, what are those things over there?
They're stuffed peppers.
What?
Stuffed peppers, you know. Meatballs in solitary confinement. I'll bet you're not enjoying your dinner.
Oh.
You've stopped eating.
Well, gee, I got to get my breath once in a while. Besides, there's something I want to ask you, if you don't mind.
Yes?
Well, I've known you for about 2 years, and as you know, as you know, well, there's a woman in back of every man's success, except if she's a fan dancer. Well, look, a ring.
Oh, an engagement ring.
Yeah, on a clear day, you can see the diamonds.
It's beautiful.
Oh, you like it?
Yes. But do you think you can support a family?
Oh, I guess so. How many's in your family? Oh, gee, it's starting to rain. Oh, gee, what am I going to do? I catch cold every time I get wet. Every time I get wet, I get pneumonia. Every time I get pneumonia,
Stop it a few minutes.
Oh.
And besides, you just proposed to me.
Yeah, I know.
Of course, I've had a lot of chances to get married, but I figure why take chances? Why, only yesterday I was asked to get married, and I said I would.
Oh, gee, who asked you?
My mother and father.
Well, I guess I'll just have to give up. You mean, wait, you'll marry me?
Certainly, silly. I've been waiting for you to ask me for a whole year.
Well, I didn't get over my water on the knee till yesterday. Oh, gee, this is wonderful. We'll get married tomorrow, huh? Look, I'll go home, and then I'll pick you up early. Gee, it's raining awful hard out, though, isn't it?
Well, we have a spare room, if you don't mind sleeping in the attic.
Oh, I wouldn't mind the attic. I spent some of the happiest years of my life in the attic.
Well, I wouldn't want you to get pneumonia.
No, I don't look so good in an oxygen tent. Well, it is kind of raining kind of hard. I hope I won't be putting you out.
Oh, not at all. I'll go right up and fix it. You wait here. I'll be back.
All right. Oh, boy, I'm going to stay on. Gee, I just happened to remember something.
Come in. Well, look at you. You're all wet.
Yeah, I know.
Where have you been in the rain?
Well, you said I could stay here all night, so I went home after my pajamas.
The fellow that wrote Beale Street Blues really had something, and we think that we've really got something here in Bob Strong's arrangement of it. Heading for Beale Street, Bob. Ladies and gentlemen, I asked a plumber who was working at my house if he ever smoked Avalon cigarettes, and he said,
Sure, brother, I smoke Avalons. They save me plenty of dough. They plugged up the leak that was draining my pocketbook. You know, when I go on a job, maybe I forget my tools, see? But I never forget my Avalons.
Yes, friends, millions upon millions of people from coast to coast know that they've really found something in Avalons. A cigarette that positively cannot be surpassed in quality, but costs 3 to 5 cents less per pack than other popular price brands. You'll certainly want to give Avalon cigarettes a trial. They're union-made from extra-select Turkish and domestic tobaccos, masterfully blended to give you a smoke that wins the highest praise from those people who are hardest to please. Now, judging by the quality, you'd never guess Avalon's cost you less, 3 to 5 cents less per pack, a saving that will mean many, many extra dollars to you. So the next time you need cigarettes, remember, Avalons give you exceptional quality, outstanding money-saving economy. Buy a pack of Avalons tonight. The grand voice of Kurt Massey, backed up by the intriguing harmonies of the Avalon chorus in one of the sweeter melodies of the day, If I Had My Way.
If I had my way, dear, forever there'd be a garden of roses for you and for me. 1,001 things, dear, I would do just for you.
Just for you.
Just for you.
I build a garden of roses for you.
If I had my way, we would never grow. And sunshine I'd bring every day. You would reign all alone like a queen on a throne. If I had my like a queen on a throne. If I had my way.
If I had
And now we come to the third movement in our striptease, the send-out Skelton service. Now, if anybody wants a day off, they send for Skelton. This week, it's a golf pro who's taking a day off while our juvenile jughead takes his place. We pick up Edna Stillwell and Red as they approach the Not Shore Golf Course.
How do you think my car runs?
I've often wondered.
Yeah.
You ought to put two handles on this thing and call it a wheelbarrow.
Well, here we are at the club.
Stop blowing your horn.
That's the brake.
Well, grab your club stub and get ready to give some golf lessons.
Uh-oh, looks like rain. Well, I'll have to get a caddy to carry these things. Oh, here comes the caddy now. Well, are you a caddy?
Well, I ain't a carpetbagger.
Hercules, a golf club toter.
Oh, goodness, yes, Mr. Skelton. I'm just a pasture pool porter. And do these scamps make me tramp? I get the hardest job. It's all good experience, but in my case, experience is the greatest torture.
Well, keep it up, Herky. You'll get there.
Oh, sometimes I wonder. I keep my nose to the grindstone, my ear to the ground, my eye on the ball, my shoulder to the wheel, and hold my future in my hands, and heavens above, if opportunity ever knocks on the door, I'll be too busy to answer it.
Well, you know, I'm here to take a golf pro's place today. You know, are you surprised, Herky?
The golf pro's place?
Yeah.
Am I surprised? Oh, I certainly am. But I knew it was you, Mr. Skelton. You did? Just as soon as I saw this car drive in here and stop with a jerk.
My first pupil is a guy by the name of Phil T. Luker.
Phil T. Luker?
Mm-hmm.
Why, he's that millionaire eccentric.
An eccentric, eh?
Well, they call him eccentric. But if he didn't have $10 million, he'd just be a screwball. And believe me, he belongs in an eccentric asylum.
Yeah.
Do you know what he goes around this course in? The low 80s? No, his low undies. Well, I'll go get him for you anyway, Mr. Skelton, right away.
Okay, Herky. Boy, that shower's coming up fast. Well, I guess I'll take a few practice swings. Watch, Edna. Notice my form.
Your form looks like two sticks stuck in a potato.
My golf form. Notice my backswing.
It sure swings.
I mean the club. I'm just taking my stance now. I'll wiggle around a little bit.
The way you wiggle, it looks as if you had ants in your stance.
Oh, here comes my pupil. Hey, that guy looks 2 years older than McPherson's family's golf ball.
Well, here he is, Mr. Skelton, Mr. Phil T. Luker.
Oh, how do you do, Mr. Luker?
Quiet while I'm putting.
Okay, putting? We haven't even started to play yet.
I'm putting this cigar in my mouth. I was pretty good out here yesterday. Got a home run.
Oh, that's a home run?
Yep. Batted the ball way over there to tall grass and run all around the course before they could find it.
Well, first I'm going to teach you how to hold the brassy.
I'd rather start by holding the caddy.
The caddy? That's not a golf club.
I know it. That gal's a caddy, ain't she?
No, that's Miss Stillwell, my secretary.
Howdy. Pretty neat little package.
Well, just remember, you're no parcel postman.
Well, now let's get on with this first golf lesson here. Now, look, you take your stance, you bring your club back like this, and... Whoa! I hit it! That's pretty good. It went right out of sight.
Don't look now. But if you move your left foot, you'll kick it.
Yeah. Well, no wonder I can only drive a few feet at a time. This is my Sunday driver.
Let me try it now. Quiet.
Okay. Look at that thing go. About 240 yards. Right up on the green.
Oh, what a beautiful drive. My God.
Oh, right. Look, the thing's rolling right up in the cup. Let's hit. About 2 inches from going in the hole.
Shucks, missed it again.
Yeah. Well, let's go.
Uh-oh. It's starting to rain.
Yeah.
Let's run for the clubhouse.
Go on. What are you, afraid of a little rain? It's going to hurt you.
A little rain?
Yeah.
It's raining pitchforks and hammer handles.
Oh, stop exaggerating. Ooh, what hit me on the head?
A hammer handle. I'm getting out of here.
Okay, go ahead. Come on, we'll play this course, rain or no rain. 16 holes in this storm. Look where my ball is. 7 strokes already, and boy, what a lie.
You're telling me.
Yeah. Okay, 9 strokes. Say, how many shots did you take getting out of that sand trap?
8 shots.
Yeah.
4 with Mashy and 4 shots of rye.
Yeah.
Achoo! Oh, good heavens, I've catch it by death of cold.
Cold, eh? Would you like a snort, son?
Oh, well, I guess a good snort wouldn't hurt me.
All right, here's a handkerchief. Now, quiet. Quiet while I hit my ball. I said quiet. Oh, that was the thunder. I think I'm on the green. I'm going to run on up ahead there.
Say, Herky, this guy's kind of tight, ain't he?
Oh, heavens. They say when he pays off, he never pays off with anything but $50 bills.
Yeah?
Well, there's only one drawback.
What's that?
He never pays off.
Well, I'm going to settle this right now. Hey, Mr. Luker.
Yes?
I'd like to talk to you just a minute. I charge $10 a lesson, and it's pay as you play.
Yes, well, don't forget I'm playing very poorly.
Yeah.
Oh, my stars. Look where the balls are. A dead stymie.
Well, drag the thing away and bury it.
Boy, look at this golf course. It's flooded. Why, you can't see anything but this green. Say, tomorrow they'll be looking for the missing link. Hey, the water's coming up higher and higher.
Oh, I'll say that water is. Well, we'll be drowned like rats in a sand trap.
No, wait a minute. I've got an idea. I know how I can save you. Here, take your putter. Now, putt.
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 Putt. Putt. Putt. Putt. Putt. Putt. Putt. Putt. Putt. Putt. Putt.
Okay, gang, I'll just step into this outboard motorboat and we'll putt right out of here. Well, Del, that finishes another one. It's about time for us to make way for the NBC Good Chime Charlie.
Yes, Red. And don't forget that next week we're going to broadcast from the Auditorium Theater here in Chicago. And for special guests, we're going to have about 3,500 delegates to the American Legion Convention.
Oh, boy. You know, I got a warm spot for the Legionnaires.
Yeah?
I guess it's because my uncle was a doughboy.
He was, Red?
Yeah, he was a cook in the Army, you know. He was wounded twice. It was a good thing the war ended when it did, or those fellows he was cooking for would have killed him. Well, good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Remember, friends, during the week when you ask for Avalon cigarettes,
don't forget your change.
So why not always travel on with Avalon?
Yes, you'd never guess, but Avalon's cost only 10 cents plus city or state tax.
be with us next Saturday evening at the same time when the Brown and Williamson Tobacco Corporation will again present Avalon Time. Del King speaking. Good night.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
WEAF, New York, 9 p.m. BULOVA, Bulova Watch Time. Bulova, masterpiece of fine watchmaking.
A pack of Avalon cigarettes, please.
Yes, sir. Just a moment, sir. Don't forget your change. You'd never guess, but Avalon's cost you less.
So why not always travel on with Avalon?
Good evening, friends. Good evening. This is Del King saying welcome to Avalon Time with Kurt Massey, Edna Stillwell, Jeanette, the Avalon Chorus, Bob Strong and his orchestra, and radio's red-headed ragamuffin, Richard Red Skelton. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know what one thing makes Avalons entirely different from any other cigarette on the market? Do you know why Avalons stand in a class by themselves? Simply one reason. Avalons are quality cigarettes that sell for 3 to 5 cents less per pack than other popular price brands. 3 to 5 cents less, mind you. A repeated saving that will net you many, many extra dollars in very short order. And certainly you can use a few extra dollars now and then. But bear this in mind, friends. Without knowing, you'd never guess Avalon's cost you less. They're union-made from a perfect blend of the finest Turkish and domestic tobaccos that money can buy. In fact, you couldn't get finer quality tobaccos in any other cigarette, regardless of price, regardless of brand. Truly, friends, Avalons offer you advantages, money-saving advantages that you'll certainly want to take advantage of. Why not try a pack of Avalons tonight? And now for our first splash in the fountain of uselessness, we bring you Headline Hokum, as compounded, culled, cornered, coaxed, and concocted from current questions by that querulous, quixotic Quinduck, Red Skelton.
Thank you very much. What a quick nut. Thank you and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And now for the gossip. News from coast to coast. Washington, D.C. A famous educator said that children should be taught more about birds and bees. I agree with him. I think that the mother should tell the kids about the bees. My mother told me about the bee. And when I went into vaudeville, I found out about the birds. Building booms in the United States. Seems like everybody's building a new house. In fact, I just built a little place out in the suburbs. That's French for a long bus ride. I built a very modern home, though. In fact, it's so modern, we even have a playroom for the termites. Chicago, Illinois. Experts say that women are better drivers than men. They should be. They don't have to look at those hats. But, you know, women are getting to be better drivers. The other day, I saw a woman hold out her hand to make a left turn, and so help me, she actually turned left. In fact, 3 cops dropped dead. I sent it to Ripley. He sent it back, says I don't believe it. The price of food's going up. You know, that's really a fact. The other day, I bought a T-bone steak. It cost me 50 cents. For another $1, I could have had meat on it. Atlantic City, New Jersey. A well-known group of child psychologists decide that if a child is naughty at the dining room table, do not spank them on an empty stomach. I mean, on a full stomach, rather. Turn them over. Washington, D.C. The President of the United States called special session of Congress. One senator was hurrying to Washington, got indignant because the Pullman porter didn't have his berth ready. The porter says, "How was I to know? I thought senators made their own bunk." News in the world of sports. Chicago Cubs wins 4 straight games. That's a misprint if I ever saw one. Philadelphia. Tony Galento wins the heavyweight battle from Lou Nova. Last night after the fight, Tony Galento was walking up Market Street in Philadelphia. A tavern, and one keg neds the other keg and says, "There's the one with legs I was telling you about." Well, that just about takes care of the news for tonight, so I'll step aside and let Jeanette pour her heart into a song. Sing it pretty, Jeanette, but pretty.
I put my heart into a song, and when you hear it, please remember from the start, you won't be hearing just the words and tune of a song. You will be listening to my heart. I put my heart into a song, and I'm afraid the words I choose are not so smart. I couldn't think of clever things to say in my heart. I had to say it with it never played on the hit parade, it will still contain a heart that is beating true. If it's not a hit, I won't mind a bit, long as it conveys the love that I feel for you. Here is my heart wrapped in a song, and if you take it, please don't tear my song apart. For if you do, you won't be just destroying a song. You will be tearing out my heart.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we come to our slice of life, a short playlet about things that happen in everyday life, things that you do and that I do, in fact, everybody does.
What's this one about tonight, Red?
Well, it's about a young fellow that's in love, and he's going to call on his girl. She's fixing dinner, see? And it's their first time alone. You set the scene, Del.
All right, Red. The place, somewhere in your hometown. The time, 7 o'clock. The girl, Edna Stillwell. The boy, Red Skelton. The dinner, hash. The girl is at her house fixing. The boy is at his house drooling. The scene opens at her house.
Now, brother, you get out of here. Richard's coming over, and I think he's going to ask me to marry him.
You mean that goon with the haunted look? Well, that guy should get married. He's the most married-looking single man I ever saw. Hey, sis.
Yes? What is it?
I think the wrong answer to a maiden's prayer is here.
Well, let him in. I'm putting supper on the table.
Okay.
Hello, darling.
How are you, sweetheart?
Oh, pardon me. Gee, I thought you were Edna.
No, I always look this way after I take a hot bath.
Well, look, Edna said we were going to be here alone. Are you going to eat with us?
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
I'll be right out, Richard.
Okay, honey. Well, Roger, you better be going now. You'll be late for your scout meeting.
There ain't no scout meeting. Ain't no scout meeting tonight.
Oh.
Besides, I quit the Boy Scouts last week.
What's the matter?
My knees got cold. Anyway, I think I'll stick around.
Yeah.
My sister's a nice girl, and I don't like that glint you're trying to get in your eye.
Come on. Take a walk or something. Gee, you know how it is. Here's a dime.
A dime?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, listen, the price is $1 to everybody.
Yeah. What's the idea? You used to scram when I give you a dime. What's the extra 90 cents for?
I just heard about the amusement tax.
Yeah. Well, here's a dime. Take it or leave it.
Now, listen, I need $1.
Yeah?
And, by the way, who was that girl you were talking to yesterday, huh?
Oh, well, it wasn't anybody in particular.
Yeah? Sis sure would be sore if she found out about that.
Yeah, she sure... You wouldn't dare. You know, you're a regular troublemaker, you are. Gee, you make anything out of nothing. All I did was ask the girl what time it was.
Yeah, you must be awful absent-minded. I saw you write it down.
Yeah. Okay, here's your $1. Now beat it before I give you a bop in the head.
So long, fella. Hope you enjoy your dinner. And whatever happens, keep your chin up.
Why?
We just put on a clean tablecloth. But so long, sis. I'm going down to the drugstore.
All right, but remember, no gambling. Oh, hello, dear. Are you hungry?
Yeah, a little bit. Gee, how are you? Gee, isn't it wonderful? Alone at last. Just you, me, and my appetite.
Oh, Richard, you're so romantic.
Yeah?
I hope you like it here. I want you to act just like you're at home.
You mean I can't smoke?
Don't be silly. Now take off your coat and let's see.
All right. But we have a tough time trying to digest those buttons.
Oh, Richard. You're always making jokes. Sort of. Now, come on. I hope you like my dinner. I'm not a very good cook, though.
I'll bet you're a good cook.
No, not very. Here, taste the coffee and see if it's all right.
Okay.
Is the coffee good?
Just a little chewy. Hey, what kind of soup is this?
That's chicken.
Chicken?
Yes.
Chicken must have walked through with stilts on.
Here. Try one of my biscuits.
Did you bake them all by yourself?
Yes. But, of course, Brother had to help me lift them off the stove.
Oh, I think I'll try one. Gee, who is your brother? Charles Atlas? Say, what are those things over there?
They're stuffed peppers.
What?
Stuffed peppers, you know. Meatballs in solitary confinement. I'll bet you're not enjoying your dinner.
Oh.
You've stopped eating.
Well, gee, I got to get my breath once in a while. Besides, there's something I want to ask you, if you don't mind.
Yes?
Well, I've known you for about 2 years, and as you know, as you know, well, there's a woman in back of every man's success, except if she's a fan dancer. Well, look, a ring.
Oh, an engagement ring.
Yeah, on a clear day, you can see the diamonds.
It's beautiful.
Oh, you like it?
Yes, but do you think you can support a family?
Oh, I guess so. How many's in your family? Oh, gee, it's starting to rain. Oh, gee, what am I going to do? I catch cold every time I get wet. Every time I get wet, I get pneumonia. Every time I get pneumonia,
Stop it a few minutes.
No.
And besides, you just proposed to me.
Yeah, I know.
Of course, I've had a lot of chances to get married, but I figure why take chances? Why, only yesterday I was asked to get married, and I said I would.
Oh, gee, who asked you?
My mother and father.
Well, I guess I'll just have to give up. You mean, wait, you'll marry me?
Certainly, silly. I've been waiting for you to ask me for a whole year.
Well, I didn't get over my water on the knee till yesterday. Oh, gee, this is wonderful. We'll get married tomorrow, huh? Look, I'll go home, and then I'll pick you up early. Gee, it's raining awful hard out, though, isn't it?
Well, we have a spare room, if you don't mind sleeping in the attic.
Oh, I wouldn't mind the attic. I spent some of the happiest years of my life in the attic.
Well, I wouldn't want you to get pneumonia.
No, I don't look so good in an oxygen tent. Well, it is kind of raining kind of hard. I hope I won't be putting you out.
Oh, not at all. I'll go right up and fix it. You wait here. I'll be back.
All right. Oh, boy, I'm going to stay on. Gee, I just happened to remember something.
Come in. Well, look at you. You're all wet.
I know.
Where have you been in the rain?
Well, you said I could stay here all night, so I went home after my pajamas.
The fellow that wrote Beale Street Blues really had something, and we think that we've really got something here in Bob Strong's arrangement of it. Heading for Beale Street, Bob. Ladies and gentlemen, I asked a plumber who was working at my house if he ever smoked Avalon cigarettes, and he said,
Sure, brother, I smoke Avalons. They save me plenty of dough. They plugged up the leak that was draining my pocketbook. You know, when I go on a job, maybe I forget my tools, see? But I never forget my Avalons.
Yes, friends, millions upon millions of people from coast to coast know that they've really found something in Avalons. A cigarette that positively cannot be surpassed in quality, but costs 3 to 5 cents less per pack than other popular price brands. You'll certainly want to give Avalon cigarettes a trial. They're union-made from extra-select Turkish and domestic tobaccos, masterfully blended to give you a smoke that wins the highest praise from those people who are hardest to please. Now, judging by the quality, you'd never guess Avalons cost you less, 3 to 5 cents less per pack, a saving that will mean many, many extra dollars to you. So the next time you need cigarettes, remember, Avalons give you exceptional quality, outstanding money-saving economy. Buy a pack of Avalons tonight. The grand voice of Kurt Massey, backed up by the intriguing harmonies of the Avalon chorus in one of the sweeter melodies of the day, If I Had My Way.
If I had my way, dear, forever there'd be a garden of roses for you and for me. 1,001 things, dear, I would do just for you.
Just for you.
Just for you.
I'd build a garden of roses for you.
If I had my way, we would never grow. And sunshine I'd bring every day. You would reign all alone like a queen on a throne. If I had my like a queen on a throne. If I had my way.
If I had my
And now we come to the third movement in our striptease, the send-out Skelton service. Now, if anybody wants a day off, they send for Skelton. This week, it's a golf pro who's taking a day off, while our juvenile jughead takes his place. We pick up Edna Stillwell and Red as they approach the Not Shore golf course.
How do you think my car runs?
I've often wondered.
Yeah.
You ought to put 2 handles on this thing and call it a wheelbarrow.
Yeah, well, here we are at the club.
Stop blowing your horn.
That's the brake.
Well, grab your club stub and get ready to give some golf lessons.
Uh-oh, looks like rain. Well, I'll have to get a caddy to carry these things. Oh, here comes the caddy now. Well, are you a caddy?
Well, I ain't a carpetbagger.
Hercules, a golf club toter.
Oh, goodness, yes, Mr. Skelton. I'm just a pasture pool porter. And do these scamps make me tramp? I get the hardest job. It's all good experience, but in my case, experience is the greatest torture.
Well, keep it up, Herky. You'll get there.
Oh, sometimes I wonder. I keep my nose to the grindstone, my ear to the ground, my eye on the ball, my shoulder to the wheel, and hold my future in my hands, and heavens above, if opportunity ever knocks on the door, I'll be too busy to answer it.
Well, you know, I'm here to take a golf pro's place today. You know, are you surprised, Herky?
The golf pro's place?
Yeah.
Am I surprised? Oh, I certainly am. But I knew it was you, Mr. Skelton.
You did?
Just as soon as I saw this car drive in here and stop with a jerk.
My first pupil is a guy by the name of Phil T. Luker.
Phil T. Luker?
Mm-hmm.
Why, he's that millionaire eccentric.
An eccentric, eh?
Well, they call him eccentric. But if he didn't have $10 million, he'd just be a screwball. And believe me, he belongs in an eccentric asylum.
Yeah.
Do you know what he goes around this course in?
The low 80s?
No, his low undies. Well, I'll go get him for you anyway, Mr. Skelton, right away.
Okay, Herky. Boy, that shower's coming up fast. Well, I guess I'll take a few practice swings. Watch, Edna. Notice my form.
Your form looks like two sticks stuck in a potato.
My golf form. Notice my backswing.
It sure swings.
Yeah. I mean the club. I'm just taking my stance now. I'll wiggle around a little bit.
The way you wiggle, it looks as if you had ants in your stance.
Oh, here comes my pupil. Hey, that guy looks 2 years older than McPherson's family's golf ball.
Well, here he is, Mr. Skelton, Mr. Phil T. Luker.
Oh, how do you do, Mr. Luker?
Quiet while I'm putting.
Okay, putting? We haven't even started to play yet.
I'm putting this cigar in my mouth. I was pretty good out here yesterday. Got a home run.
Oh, that's a home run?
Yeah. Batted the ball way over there to tall grass and run all around the course before they could find it.
Well, first I'm going to teach you how to hold the brassy.
I'd rather start by holding the caddy.
The caddy? That's not a golf club.
I know it. That gal's a caddy, ain't she?
No, that's Miss Stillwell, my secretary.
Howdy. Pretty neat little package.
Well, just remember, you're no parcel postman.
Well, now let's get on with this first golf lesson here. Now, look, you take your stance, you bring your club back like this, and... Whoa! I hit it! That's pretty good. It went right out of sight.
Don't look now. But if you move your left foot, you'll kick it.
Yeah. Well, no wonder I can only drive a few feet at a time. This is my Sunday driver.
Let me try it now. Quiet.
Okay. Look at that thing go. About 240 yards. Right up on the green.
Oh, what a beautiful drive. My God.
Oh, right. Look, the thing's rolling right up in the cup. Let's hit. About 2 inches from going in the hole.
Shucks, missed it again.
Yeah. Well, let's go.
Uh-oh. It's starting to rain.
Yeah.
Let's run for the clubhouse.
Go on. What are you, afraid of a little rain? It ain't going to hurt you.
A little rain?
Yeah.
It's raining pitchforks and hammer handles.
Oh, stop exaggerating. Ooh, what hit me on the head?
A hammer handle. I'm getting out of here.
Okay, go ahead. Come on, we'll play this course, rain or no rain. 16 holes in this storm. Look where my ball is. 7 strokes already, and boy, what a lie.
You're telling me.
Yeah. Okay, 9 strokes. Say, how many shots did you take getting out of that sand trap?
8 shots.
Yeah.
4 with Mashy and 4 shots of rye.
Yeah.
Achoo! Oh, good heavens, I've catched by death of cold.
Cold, eh? Would you like a snort, son?
Oh, well, I guess a good snort wouldn't hurt me.
All right, here's a handkerchief. Now, quiet while he hit the ball. I said quiet. Oh, that was the thunder. I think I'm on the green. I'm going to run on up ahead there.
Say, Herky, this guy's kind of tight, ain't he?
Oh, heavens, they say when he pays off, he never pays off with anything but $50 bills.
Yeah?
Well, there's only one drawback.
What's that?
He never pays off.
Well, I'm going to settle this right now. Hey, Mr. Luker.
Yes?
I'd like to talk to you just a minute. I charge $10 a lesson, and it's pay as you play.
Yes, well, don't forget I'm playing very poorly.
Yeah.
Oh, my stars, look where the balls are. A dead stymie.
Well, drag the thing away and bury it.
Boy, look at this golf course. It's flooded. Why, you can't see anything but this green. Say, tomorrow they'll be looking for the missing link. Hey, the water's coming up higher and higher.
Oh, I'll say that water is. Well, we'll be drowned like rats in a sand trap.
No, wait a minute. I've got an idea. I know how I can save you. Here, take your putter. Now, putt.
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 Putt. Putt. Putt. Putt. Putt. Putt. Putt. Putt. Putt. Putt. Putt.
Okay, gang, I'll just step into this outboard motorboat. We'll putt right out of here. Well, Del, that finishes another one. It's about time for us to make way for the NBC Good Chime Charlie.
Yes, Red. And don't forget that next week we're going to broadcast from the Auditorium Theater here in Chicago. And for special guests, we're going to have about 3,500 delegates to the American Legion Convention.
Oh, boy. You know, I got a warm spot for the Legionnaires.
Yeah?
I guess it's because my uncle was a doughboy.
He was, Red?
Yeah, he was a cook in the Army, you know. He was wounded twice. It was a good thing the war ended when it did, or those fellows he was cooking for would have killed him. Well, good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Remember, friends, during the week when you ask for Avalon cigarettes,
Don't forget your change.
So why not always travel on with Avalon?
Yes, you'd never guess, but Avalon's cost only 10 cents plus city or state tax.
be with us next Saturday evening at the same time when the Brown and Williamson Tobacco Corporation will again present Avalon Time. Del King speaking. Good night.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
WEAF, New York, 9 p.m. BULOVA, Bulova Watch Time. Bulova, masterpiece of fine watchmaking.